Why, hello everyone, and welcome back. Tonight we have WWE Monday Night Raw, so we will be watching along right here on the Tom Collique channel, both on YouTube and on Twitch. We are live now about 10 minutes before Raw starts to basically talk about the fact that the WWE actually finally remembered that Raw was happening and started announcing some things. There have been a number of matches that they have finally announced, most of which involve the upcoming Money in the Bank show, and it shows the level of reset that we're looking at here. This is very much a reset that the WWE are putting together to really start showing new things and new concepts and the like. That's the plan, at least, but we'll see whether or not it actually happens, because you never can tell with WWE. They may start one way and finish another, for example. While I'm here, I'm also going to go on to Twitch and advertise the show, but we have 3 hours. Oh, that hurt me just to say. We have 3 hours of Raw to watch and enjoy tonight. Hopefully, it is enjoyable. Hopefully, it's a lot of fun, but I never really put much stock in it anymore. I've got to be honest and say the WWE has had difficulty entertaining me over the last few months. SmackDown's done a good job, but Raw not so much. So I'm crossing my fingers that this time is at least a little bit different. For anyone watching this on catch up, you can watch live on these Raw, SmackDown, and pay-per-view watch parties just by either clicking subscribe on YouTube or popping over to Twitch and clicking follow there. It's twitch.tv/Tom Collique. Welcome, Macho T. I spotted that you'd followed a little while back, and I'm glad to see you join us. Welcome to the show, mate. Welcome to the show. We are watching Raw tonight, and hopefully you'll find something you enjoy in all the madness that is Monday Night Raw, because my word, there is a lot of it, isn't there? A lot of good old Raw madness. I'm trying to boot up the WWE Twitter to talk through the matches that they have now formally announced. That's a bit on Diamond Mine. That's Sonya Deville and Mustafa Ali in suits, and you know what? I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. We have Ricochet and AJ Styles in a Money in the Bank qualifying match. We have 2 tag team matches for the women, which really tells us what we're expecting to see on the side of the women for Money in the Bank, on the Raw side at least. So it's either going to be Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross qualifying, or Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax qualifying. Gotta go with Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross there. On the other hand, Eva Marie and Piper Niven, now genuinely called Doudrop, will be taking on Naomi and Asuka. I do suspect Naomi and Asuka will be involved. They're just their names they usually go for. But hey, stranger things have happened. In addition, Drew McIntyre has a routine. He also has a qualifying match, which is against Matt Riddle. So it's not necessarily the easiest, but winnable. Matt Riddle says a lot of it for sure. The matches are looking pretty good. It's looking like we're going to get some good matches. I think that's the most important thing for the takeaway, knowing that that is likely to happen. At the very least, Drew McIntyre and Matt Riddle should put on a hell of a show. I'm genuinely excited for that. Hello, Corey. Welcome to the show, mate. Welcome to the show. Let me just click your comment as well. Welcome to the show. Hopefully, you're also excited for Raw. We're going to have a reset. We're going to have some changes. Raw's going to feel different by the end of it. We are now live. Our full length WWE Raw party. Watch live with us, and I'll stick the Twitch link in there too, so that people on Twitter know that they can come and jump in. Someone 7 is saying, "Are you excited for Doudrop?" I'm a big fan of Piper Niven. I've interviewed Piper Niven before. I posted that audio on Twitter. I can't say I'm looking forward to the Doudrop name, because 100%, and we know this, she's going to be cutting a promo with someone like Bailey or someone like Carmella. And it's just going to be a case of, what up, doo-doo? Like, that's the funniest thing in the world. And it's not. And it's really not. But bless them. They're going to try it. Ed seems very excited to see you, Macho T. There may be a reason for that. I've seen your name in quite a few things recently. Bailey just says it's 2021. It is 2021. It's a crazy, crazy time. Oop, missed. Bailey also says, do drop. It's 2021's version of the Red Rooster. Yeah. Yeah. There's some crazy thing. It just some ridiculous names. It throws me back to Roman Reigns and his suffering succotash days. We don't need more suffering succotash day. I said the wrong thing there. Days, but we're still having them. Macho says, miracle, we are getting actual qualifying matches. It's a good start to the Money in the Bank build. I agree. Money in the Bank feels a lot bigger and more important when you've got qualifying matches in the aforementioned to get started with. But in addition to that, you also have to consider that the fans are coming back. Let's make this a big deal. That said, on SmackDown, they don't have enough women to do qualifiers. Like, genuinely. Especially if they're getting 4 of them. There definitely aren't female qualifiers happening. Definitely not. Corey is hoping we're going to have a good Raw today. Hoping we're going to have one. And Ed is giving a shout out to Macho T. Thank you, Ed. Saying Macho is a great wrestling video game streamer among other wonderful content. If there's anything you would like to plug, Macho, jump in, go ahead, let us know what you're thinking, what you're working on, and anything that involves leaderboards, shall we say. Anything that involves leaderboards. Ed says, I remember subbing during the Fortnite Macho days. Oh, got a bit of a celebrity in the chat. Bit of a celebrity. But yes, I believe you will have followed me because I popped up in Nemesis Paradox's streams. I believe that's likely. Haven't seen her pop in that much, but she does every now and then and says hi, and I appreciate that. Fair enough, Macho. If there is anything, let us know. We try to support our own here as best we can. And we do plenty of raids in that regard as well to try and support anyone else and the work that they are doing. All right, let me get SmackDown up. That's a replay. That's a replay. That's not the right channel. Where's Raw? Like, where is it? Main channels. SmackDown highlights. That'll be the one. That'll be the one. We get the ending of the Hell in a Cell match in the couple of minutes we've got left. That's nice. That's nice. So today, yes, we will do a full watch party for Monday Night Raw. We do watch parties for Raw and SmackDown, as well as news shows at 10 p.m. UK time, 5 p.m. EST. That is our spoiler warning news shows. We also do gaming content. Tuesdays, Football Manager, and Thursdays at the moment is Final Fantasy VII. If you have a Twitch account and you've clicked follow, I will pop up in your list and it'll tell you exactly what I'm doing. Exactly what I'm doing. Exactly what I'm doing. If you want to check that out. Currently on my screen, Roman Reigns is standing tall over Rey Mysterio. Just holding his championship up. He managed to get the whole night off. The whole night off. All right, Macho. I wasn't aware. I'll go looking for you on Twitter. Make sure you get a follow back if I'm not already following you. And I can check out YouTube as well, see what you create there. Always love to support a content creator, and there are plenty of us, so anything we can do is always good. Macho has said, I follow your Twitter for quite a while for the wrestling talk and news and reports and such. As on my YouTube, I cover such. Fair enough. Fair enough. So if you'd like to plug your YouTube channel, usually when the show is a bit more full, we tend to have quite a few people who will jump into a new YouTube channel and the like and check it out. Someone 7 says the cell is still up for Raw. Really? Well, maybe the USA Network want a Hell in a Cell match of their own. They could certainly get something big if the cell's already there. Welcome, Squared Table Degenerates podcast. Welcome to the show. We're watching Raw today. Are you excited for it? Let me know how you've been and if you're excited for Raw. Let me know. Do let me know. Because it is starting in just 2 minutes. I think McIntyre Riddle is probably likely to open here. But then I don't know what the main event would be. Maybe Bliss. Maybe Bliss will be the main event. Who can tell? Who can tell? But if the cell's still there, there's definitely going to have to be some use for it. They can't just have it hanging there. There must be something that happens. And I do feel it must be some sort of apology to the USA Network, which would just make me laugh. People will naturally have to let me know if they're having issues with Peacock. If you end up way behind, there you are, Macho. I will click follow. If you end up significantly behind, that is unfortunately just unfortunate. And I'll check out your YouTube Macho as soon as I'm able to. And of course, follow you back on Twitch. Of course, do that as well. Square Table says, excited for some Money in the Bank qualifiers. They're always fun. And to be fair, it looks like decent matches. Sam Gaming says it was crap. They didn't give us Roman versus Ray at Hell in a Cell. You say that. I think the match was still good and still worth watching. It's a shame it was on SmackDown, but TV nowadays, TV viewers and ratings seem to be more important than pay-per-view views. And my BT Sport just crashed. And my PS4 just crashed. Fantastic. Technology, I tell you. BT Sport is terrible. Restarting the PS4. Jake says, are Bliss and Cross teaming? Yes, they are, which will be an interesting one. And Corey says, who do you guys think Bobby is going to face next? Well, when he posted earlier on Twitter and he said, who's next? My immediate thought was Goldberg, which would at least be a good backup option. It would mean, okay, we couldn't get you Brock Lesnar, but how about Goldberg? Be a good option at least. I do think it'll be Kofi Kingston, though. Kofi's been built up by MVP, and I think it makes the most sense for us to get the actual match between the two of them, especially if Brock Lesnar is going to return. Have him returning against both Kofi Kingston as well as Bobby Lashley works brilliantly for me. I'd be very excited by that concept. If you are watching on YouTube, please do remember to click like on the video. That helps us grow. Yesterday, as a result of Hell in a Cell and the watch party we did there, not only did we have quite a lot of views, but we also gained another 10 subscribers. At the moment, of course, I am currently sat on just over 580. We are still a very fresh, very new channel. And I've got to be honest, we're struggling a little bit to reach that 1,000. So anything you can do to help, I'd be very, very grateful of. Sam says, Undertaker is returning yet again, that pensioner level is. Why do you think The Undertaker is returning? Has The Undertaker been announced as a returnee? I haven't seen anything on that. News to me. And Jade-Up is here with the Twitch cannon, celebrating with sparkles. Thank you, Corey. Thank you very much, Corey, with 100 bits in the channel. Thank you very much. Happy early birthday. Going to be my surprise on Friday, but I got some for free from Twitch today. Thanks for all the work that you do, like I said last night. Thank you, Corey. I very much appreciate that. Thank you for the 100 bits and your continued generosity and support. Sam Gaming says rumors. Sam, would you be able to give us a source on that? In this chat, in this channel, we like to source the rumors so we know where the rumors are from, and so that's how we work with the news. But do you have a source for your rumors? So essentially, we can decide based on our analysis to give them credence or not. For example, if it's from Ringside News, I'm not going to believe it. I'm just not. And it says Hell in a Cell is still there. Jay Quick also says they still have the cell above the ring, it looks like. Indeed. That was mentioned earlier by someone 7. The cell is still there. USA Network might be getting what they want after all. And Toxic Predator is here as well, saying hi, Tom. Welcome, Toxic Predator. Welcome to the show. Thank you, Sam, reporting that the rumor came from the WrestleMania YouTube channel. I'm not aware that they report much news. So with that in mind, I'm going to go ahead and think it's a no. The thing with The Undertaker is, if Vince McMahon texted him today, he would come back today. He would 100% come back today. I just don't see that happening. I mean, hopefully that doesn't happen. Thank you, Corey, again. Another 30 bits. Thank you very much. Very grateful. You've been very consistent and given a lot to this channel, mate. I very much appreciate it. Jermaine Presley is also here saying, hi, Tom. Welcome, Jermaine. Thank you for joining us. Is everyone excited for Raw? We are opening with Bobby Lashley. There was some very clever camera work there, because if they'd taken an extra step back, they would have been right up someone's skirt, and I'm glad they didn't do that. So some clever camera work picking their moment. There is champagne, so I'm guessing this is a celebration. I do still think Drew McIntyre is going to come down, say, I'm going to win the briefcase, and then I'm going to challenge you at SummerSlam, or something to that effect. I definitely think Drew McIntyre is going to be involved in this. Because, you know, it's Drew, isn't it? It's Drew. Jay Quick says, I'm excited for all the qualifying matches. It's different. It is. We're getting a few changes and a few exciting concepts. Bliss and Cross against Jackson Baszler should be a fun match. And as we know, McIntyre Riddle. And Ed just says, is anyone ever excited for Raw? Few people here seem to be excited. There's some excitement. Not too much, admittedly, not too much, but there's some excitement. And that's more than usual. Sam says, the thing is, in his last promo, he said The Undertaker was done wrestling. Never said anything about him being done. So could he come back with his real life name? We could. He wouldn't, but he could. He'd just come back as The Undertaker. The Undertaker is too easy marketing, too brandable to drop it. Corey says, I hope someone gets it on SmackDown so I can touch it. I hope so, mate. Hope so. J-Dub says, excited enough that I managed to turn the TV on, but that's about it. Corey disagrees and says, I am as in excited for Raw. And Jay Quick says, I want to see Bliss if Bliss and Cross can work together. They've definitely given us some interesting things. We got RK Bro working with Drew McIntyre. So yes, admittedly, that's more Randy Orton, Drew McIntyre, but it is what it is. MVP is just name dropping Drew. And we have a recap. A very grainy and pixelated Bobby Lashley next to a really sweaty Drew McIntyre. I do find it fun that Bobby Lashley basically has all the women on his side. That's MVP doing his job well. Doing his job well. We are toasting the WWE champion. Everyone's supposed to be picking up their champagne. It's not working. One woman's just having to go without. The New Day are coming down. One of the girls has immediately got up and walked to behind the couch. Interesting. I do think Kofi Kingston versus Bobby Lashley is a logical next step. Jermaine says, hey, Tom, look at the number one groupie in white next to Bobby. She gets better every time she's on TV. Each to their own, mate. I'm not going to sit here and rate, but each to their own. That's toast. That's toast. Bear with me 1 second. It's a lot of toast. Sam says, WWE losing viewership from not having a live crowd or because Vince couldn't book in a car if it was parked in the wrong place. They're losing viewership for a number of reasons. The booking is certainly a part of it. Also changing TV habits and the fact that they've got very repetitive feuds right now. And also kind of the fact that they're just tossing bread at Bobby Lashley. You know? They're also missing some key stars. Your Brock Lesnar's, your Becky Lynch's, your John Cena's. Key stars. Ed is just celebrating the arrival of the New Day. Sam says, Drew can't get any more title shots while Bobby is champ. That's true, except he can because he can win Money in the Bank because he's in a qualifier tonight. And Jermaine says, hey, Tom, could this be a set for Money in the Bank title match, Bobby Lashley versus Kofi? I do believe so. If you follow over on Twitch, then you will have heard on Spoiler Warning earlier today that I do believe Bobby Lashley versus Kofi Kingston is going to be the Money in the Bank title match and main event. It's the thing that makes the most sense to me personally. I said perfectly. That wouldn't have worked. Personally. MVP going into it about video games. Ain't nothing wrong with video games. Ain't nothing wrong with video games. Bully. Corey says, who do you think Roman Reigns will face? Possibly no one for Money in the Bank. I think Dominic's a shout. I think there's a genuine possibility of Dominic being in that spot. But also, I'd really like it if it was Nakamura. This seems like the perfect time to give Nakamura a title opportunity, screw him out of it, do the Roman Cena storyline, and then go back to it and have Nakamura win this time. Shut up, chat. That's what I personally would do. Sam says, isn't MVP trying to split up the New Day? Kind of. Kind of, yeah. Which is kind of the reason behind this whole segment. Jay Quick says, I wonder if we get Kofi and Lashley in Hell in a Cell tonight. That'd be blowing their wad early, but it certainly might make people tune in. It's an interesting concept. I'm excited. Megan's right there with me. Let's have less of the heathen speak MVP. Nothing wrong with video games. Nothing wrong at all. Sam says, I want the Usos to turn on Roman. I think that'll be a while before we do it. There's a lot of story left to tell there as heels. And Corey says, I hope my buddy Dolph Ziggler will be in the match, in the ladder match. He's still on hiatus, to my knowledge. He and Robert Roode are both taking a bit of a break. So I don't think so just yet. But as we know, as you know, he's still there on the shows. He's still there backstage. It says P was boo-hooing at the bar. Love it. We have a recap of the match in which Kofi pinned Bobby Lashley recently. Jay Quick says MVP is a closet video gamer. I do believe that's true. And there we go. We got some inside information. Corey MLB saying he told me, as regards Dolph Ziggler, he's trying to get in the ladder match and Vince wants them to. That's what he told me when I saw him. He said he's probably coming back this week, most likely. Well, there you go then. This is the ideal time. Ideal time. Kofi has challenged Bobby Lashley to a match at Money in the Bank. And Bobby's immediately accepted. We have a proper fighting champion here. MVP literally speaking over Bobby Lashley there. Bad luck. Bobby's got this. Toxic Predator saying Corey got the inside info now. Corey setting us up. Sam says, is WWE live on WWE Network? Because it never is for me. Always shows a week before Raw and SmackDown. WWE Network is live, but Raw and SmackDown is never live on the WWE Network. Never. Never. Xavier Woods is just ripping them apart now. Seriously though, MVP, shut up. Like seriously, MVP's getting in the way right now. King of the Ring drop. I have subscribed already, so I'm not going to subscribe to a Up Down now. Very good promo from Xavier Woods. Chelsea says, Kofi's winning at Money in the Bank. I don't see it. I don't see it, but it would still be a lot of fun. Seems like an easy way to get a championship match. He has already beat the champion. That's the thing. AJ's here saying hi. Welcome, AJ. And Sam says, how do I get Raw and SmackDown live every week? Well, it depends where you live. Peacock, BT Sport, etc. There we go. Bobby Lashley versus Xavier Woods. Hell in a Cell. Hell in a Cell. Amazing. WWE is apologizing to the USA Network by giving away Bobby Lashley versus Xavier Woods in Hell in a Cell tonight. MVP is starting to look like he's really not happy being in Bobby Lashley's corner. Xavier Woods is very inventive. He should be a lot of fun in this. Yeah, Jay Quick says Woods Lashley Hell in a Cell. Ed says Hell in a Cell. Payback to USA for Fox. Indeed. Absolutely it is. Sam says UK, you need BT Sport. BT Sport is how you watch Raw and SmackDown live every single week. Noob is here. Welcome, Noob. Says seems like tonight is a little random. People are a little rattled, mainly because a certain Empress is on tonight. Hopefully she'll take some time off from TV. I don't think people are rattled because of that. I don't think people are very rattled because of that, but we are where we are. Thank you, AJ. I'm not going to click on your comment, but I appreciate that. Jill says, what happened with Peacock last night? Apparently everything crashed. Did anyone get to watch it at all? Well, by the sounds of it, quite a lot of people who watched in here were able to watch it. Beyond that, I'm not sure. Before we continue, Ed has redeemed a theme change. Thank you for picking Pirate. Like, genuinely. So, let's go Pirate. We're going Pirate. So, we stick on the pirate hat. We pick up our little pirate sword. And just like that, Ed has spent 2,500 channel points to make me a pirate for the night, or at least for the foreseeable future. Every now and then, I'll pick up the sword and waggle it about. Every now and then, I'll waggle it about. Until then, let's catch up with the chat a little bit. Corey says, wow, that is a... Missed it. Corey says, wow, that is a shock. It is. It certainly wasn't what I was expecting initially. Certainly wasn't what I was expecting, but I'm glad to have it. Xavier Woods and Bobby Lashley both are experienced at cells now, and both are very inventive. I'm excited for it. Sam says Fox are unhappy that Ray's match was put on SmackDown instead of Hell in a Cell. That is the rumor, yes. That is the rumor. As regards Peacock, Ed says I didn't have any issues last night, so there's an answer for you. Doesn't it seem too early to have 5 Money in the Bank qualifying matches? Yeah, but a lot of the planning is sort of written off already, if you get what I mean. There are no Raw shows with fans before Money in the Bank. They want to set the table. They want to say, look, we're making changes here. We're making changes. We're trying to give you what you want. They're trying to intrigue people. And honestly, this is kind of the way to do it. If you are currently watching this watch party on YouTube, please do remember to click like on the video. That's a big help. It really helps the show to grow and helps people to find the show as well. The more likes we get, the more YouTube advertises this live video to anyone who may want to watch it out there in the great wild beyond. And of course, if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? We do daily wrestling content here on the Tom Collahue YouTube channel. All you got to do is click subscribe and you'll get a notification every time a new video comes on. Our most recent video released about, I want to say 7 hours ago today, was about Sonya Deville training for a WWE in-ring return. So please, if you are watching on YouTube, remember to click like on the video and remember to subscribe if you haven't. Let's catch up. Chelsea says, is Money in the Bank before the first Raw or SmackDown show with fans? The first show with fans will be the SmackDown before Money in the Bank. So it's the direct go-home show to Money in the Bank. That will be the first show with fans back. Sam says WWE are back on tour on the 16th. I think they said, isn't that a Monday? That's a Friday. They are back on the Friday, the SmackDown before Money in the Bank. And yes, indeed, it is the 16th. That is indeed a Friday. Dominic says, who do you think will challenge Lashley at SummerSlam like the hat? Thank you. That's a channel point redemption over on Twitch. Gets me to put on different gear. They're actually using the Hell in a Cell graphic to advertise Bobby Lashley versus Xavier Woods. And I can't help but respect that. It's non-title though. Who I think will challenge Lashley at SummerSlam? I'm personally still going Brock Lesnar. Corey celebrating the return for fans will be on his birthday, and indeed it will. He'll be at the show, of course. And Chelsea says, will they have full capacity? Does anyone know? They will not have full capacity on the first show with fans. They will not have full capacity. They're attempting to get as close to full capacity for SummerSlam as possible, but right now they are not quite at full capacity. About 3/4. AJ Styles is making his entrance with Omos. It's amazing how they spent ages building up two genuine tag divisions on both Raw and SmackDown, and now everyone's wrestling in singles matches again. AJ Styles will be taking on Ricochet. This will be a great time for Sheamus to get involved, if, in fact, he is cleared to do so. The Money in the Bank briefcases are suspended above the ring as well. Imagine a Money in the Bank in a cell. That'd be great fun. I do like that the women's one is hung slightly lower. Slightly lower. They don't want none. Jacob says, damn, I was really hoping Ricochet would be in Money in the Bank. He might be. He might be. There is still time. We are showing an earlier today when AJ Styles and Moss ran into the Viking Raiders backstage. I think it's possible Ricochet wins this match in some fashion so that we get this tag team title match at Money in the Bank. We'll wait and see. Bailey says, it's clear fans are not happy with Raw. Is there anything you hear internally that WWE does or does not see as a problem with the show? The WWE are aware of problems with rematches. They're aware that there's a lot of rematches going on. That's the whole point of the plot line with Drew McIntyre. Oh, he's not going to get another shot. They think they can bring fans back with a bang. Their concern is individuals and stars. That's why we've seen, for example, Damian Priest dropped. That's why we're seeing AJ Styles and Randy Orton get more time on screen and so on and so forth. The WWE are planning changes which appeal to casual viewers, not hardcore viewers. But the WWE do believe, at least the top level at the WWE firmly believe, once fans are back, things will change. Sam says if John Cena returns at SummerSlam or Survivor Series, I think they should do Cena versus Bobby for the world title. Cena is likely to take on Roman Reigns at SummerSlam. That's the heavily rumored option. It's certainly possible, of course, that the Viking Raiders could in some way distract AJ Styles here and cost him the match. There's a lot at play. And Jacob says, I guess they could have other plans for AJ during the pay-per-view. To be fair, they could have different plans for both these guys. Ricochet versus Humberto Carrillo versus Sheamus was planned for Hell in a Cell. It's just that Sheamus picked up his injury and wasn't cleared for it. What we do know is that these two men have some very intense chemistry. And I like this new version of Ricochet. They've made some changes and they've tweaked him slightly. And this is one of those tweaks that have actually worked for once. Jermaine Presley says, hey, Tom, I saw on Twitter today that Kevin Owens is taking time off. Does that mean he won't be at Money in the Bank, but he'll probably be back for SummerSlam then? We did talk about this earlier on Spoiler Warning over on Twitch, but I'll reiterate here. Kevin Owens is supposedly taking time off until the draft after SummerSlam. Now, if he returns to SummerSlam, that's possible. But I believe we are next going to hear about Kevin Owens when the draft comes after SummerSlam. Chelsea says not having Kofi in the Money in the Bank match is a shame. He always does something special, but still don't mind him fighting for the championship. I'd like him to be replaced by Xavier Woods, who could also, to be fair, do something special. If he gets a championship match, I'm all for it. And of course, both men have the challenge has been made, the challenge has been accepted, the match is happening. Jada quite rightly saying, the main problem with Raw is the third hour. Unfortunately, that is never going away. Yeah. SmackDown is a lot more bite-sized and a lot more manageable. It doesn't make you feel as ill because you've had too big a meal. So 2 hours is definitely the right call. Sam says, I'm fed up seeing Elias over Riker every week. Yeah, me too. Elias and Riker is not a segment I enjoy. Jake Rick said, this should be an amazing match. And indeed, it should. We've immediately gone to commercial break. I'm never going to get past that. Just constant commercials. It really makes the whole thing questionable as to how enjoyable this sort of show can actually be. With commercial breaks every 10 minutes. Thank you, everyone who has joined so far. We have 6 people on YouTube, 13 people on Twitch, which is some very, very good numbers. Some of my friends, colleagues, / competition, whatever you want to call them, have not been able to get this many numbers. So a huge thank you to everyone who has joined, everyone who says hi, and everyone who jumps in and starts chatting. I would not be where I am right now without you guys. Things would be a lot more hopeless without you guys. I'd be a lot more lonely without you guys. Gotta be honest. Gotta be honest. Just gonna come out there and say it. The 6 shows we do a week over on Twitch are incredibly fun for me. You guys have made it. Like, you guys are making it fun for me. And even if this is never profitable per se, even if before you know it, I have to give up on this and just sort of end up out there in the world, as it were, even if that happens, I will at least know I gave it a damn good shot, you know? I will at least know I gave it a damn good shot, and you guys did everything you could to support that. So, thank you, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Jacob says, knowing Ricochet's luck, they'll come back from breaking the match will be over. AJ wins. I would actually... It's an awkward thing to do, but I would like them to do that in at least one match, just to make it seem at least a little bit more realistic, at least a little bit. Sam says they show the same matches every week. I don't like that Vince never used to do that. You say that, but that's not true. The Attitude Era, for example, was rematch after rematch after rematch because all the matches were like 2 minutes. We've only seen AJ versus Ricochet a couple of times. They had a feud over the US Championship about a year and a half ago, yes, but since then, I think there's been one sort of throwaway match. So I wouldn't say it's really a problem, to be honest. We do get a lot of rematches, no question, but not right now, at least. Chelsea says it's so annoying that Raw and SmackDown isn't on the network in the UK. Have to watch it live every week, or I can't watch it at all. Would prefer to watch Raw the next day and just skip the adverts. I get what you're saying. I totally get what you're saying. BT Sport is available on catch-up, so WWE is available to watch on catch-up. And usually, to be fair, they take out the ad break, so it's not the worst thing in the world. It's pretty enjoyable in that regard. I don't mind it, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Oh, I hope the action comes back soon, otherwise we just sat in a commercial break forever. The commercial breaks really kill it for me. I always think back to the Attitude Era when I first started watching. They never had a commercial break during a match. Never. That's when they had competition, but still. If you think people are going to stay tuned in just because of the match happening, why didn't you do it way back then? I get you, Chelsea. I get you. No, Sam. BT Sport is not free. You do have to pay for it, but you also get all of the Champions League. European football, I should say. A lot of football and some rugby. That's about it. But it wasn't worth it for me. And then they got the WWE and it became worth it for me. Megan says it's the first time AJ and Ricochet faced each other since February 22nd. Thank you, Megan, our stat queen, bringing us the details on that one. That's 4 months. Literally to the date, I should say. 4 months since their last match. So I think we can forgive them that one. Oh, bloody hell. Jermaine says, hey, Tom, do you know what the plan is for Damian Priest? No, and neither do the WWE. Neither do the WWE. I can give you more details on that one, though, because I have already released a video on this exact subject. This comes from Spoiler Warning, which is a Twitch show, and it's on Damian Priest. Where is it? Where is it? This was an early one in the daily videos. Yeah, a month ago. We'll share that one that you can watch, Jermaine. Share it and just the YouTube one. There you go, Jermaine. That is everything I know on Damian Priest. That video was released just before Damian Priest's last match, the match against John Morrison that he had, because that was recorded on a Monday. So it was just before the Monday Night Raw when he had that match. And then from there, that basically details why they're not using him. I will say thank you, and a big thank you at that, to Corey, who brings in first 69 bits. Nice. And follows up with another 26. Thank you very much for your generosity, Corey. It literally never ends. Your generosity is endless. I cannot thank you enough. Cannot thank you enough. Interesting, Chelsea. I won't ask for more details on that. Jermaine says you can watch Raw the next day on Hulu. Over in the UK, we do not have that service. Not over in the UK. Sam says, I thought they would use Bad Bunny for more than one match. They will. They will. He will be back. Bad Bunny will be back eventually. But he's off doing his own thing now. The whole idea was just to get as many eyes on the product as possible. He definitely managed that. Oh, 5 qualifying matches is a lot. It's just a lot. This match has been really good so far. Lots of flips and reversals. Athleticism on show, which is good considering one of them's wrestling in jeans. Jill says if they can't think of a storyline for Priest, they should at least let him be in the Money in the Bank match. They still could, to be fair. There is a potential to do that. There is definitely the potential to do that. But yeah, right now, they just have absolutely no plans for him. All of his story was based around Bad Bunny. When Bad Bunny moved on, they decided to continue the feud with The Miz. Then we got the match at WrestleMania Backlash. Then The Miz picked up an injury, and they realized they had nothing for Damian Priest. Nothing for Damian Priest. And if you want more backstage reports and news like that, make sure to subscribe over on YouTube, where we upload daily news videos. And those news videos come from Spoiler Warning, which is our Monday and Friday show on Twitch, our new show on Twitch. And I'll show the branding that we've got for it. Our news show on Twitch that you can check out. If you want to catch every show, pop across to twitch.tv/Tom Colahue, and you'll get a notification when you follow there every time we go live. Over here on YouTube, we only go live for the Raw watch party so that you can get a taste of what we do over on Twitch pretty much every day. Sam says, Ricochet gets made out to be a jobber on WWE and Ring of Honor on New Japan. He was one of the best. Different companies, firstly. Also, I don't think he's been made out to be a jobber. That's not how I see it personally. The Viking Raiders have just come down to attack Omos. They're not doing great at it. Also, I don't know why they're doing it. Kind of heelish. But still, that's a big distraction for AJ Styles. A big distraction for AJ Styles. Omos gets thrown through the barricade. Essentially charged himself through the barricade. But he's gone through. AJ Styles has focused on Ricochet. Not enough. That's Ricochet's finish. Ricochet will be in the Money in the Bank ladder match. And yeah, it sure seems like we're going to see that Tag Team Championship match and Money in the Bank as well. That, of course, leaves an opportunity at SummerSlam for AJ Styles and Omos versus RK Bro. Sam, no, they do not. They absolutely do not. That is a ridiculous thing to say. Chelsea says, let's do a Money in the Bank participant prediction. Well, we've got the first one. But we can go beyond that. Oh, I didn't know that was an option. J-Dub has sent 10 bits using party. Apparently, you don't just have to say cheer, you can also say party. Thank you very much for the bits, J-Dub, as well. Thank you very much and very kindly. I am very happy with the fact that at the moment I've reached a level on Twitch that I'm always making something, even if it's only a couple of pennies. Every time I do a stream, I get something. It makes me feel like this is working. It makes me feel like this is being successful, you know? So thank you. Chelsea, it will be an 8-man Money in the Bank ladder match. They've just shown a graphic featuring Ricochet and 7 open spots behind him. It will be an 8-man, and it looks like it'll be an 8-woman as well. They are running down the card to try and keep viewership, which is good, and they've immediately gone to Randy Orton. Devin says, imagine if Jimmy Wang Yang shows up. To be fair, I could send him a message and say to him, hey, do you want to go and do this? If the WWE did that, it might succeed. A friend of mine trained at his wrestling school, had his first match. For anyone who remembers Rick Ucchino, he just had his first wrestling match. So if anyone would like to send him an @ on Twitter and congratulate him for that, that would be a lot of fun. Let's grab a link. So if anyone, I'm going to post this in both sides, a link to Rick's Twitter profile. He just had his very first wrestling match. His very first one. So if anyone would like to send him an @ on Twitter and congratulate him, please do so. Riddle and Randy Orton are being Riddle and Randy Orton backstage. I like this relationship. Randy Orton's wearing an Arcade Bro piece of merch. It's a cap on a snake. I didn't realize it was a cap on a snake. I love it. I love it. Riddle wants both he and Orton to be in the Money in the Bank match. I don't think Orton's going to get the shot, to be honest. He doesn't have a qualifier yet. There's only one more slot after the ones that have already been established. Very fair comment. Very fair comment from Randy Orton there. Let's catch up. Noob says they're butchering Piper Niven. Well, I don't think we've had enough time to really say that. I'm not sure as regards that, but I don't feel we've really had enough time to say that. Macho says WWE's timing and commercials truly makes no sense. Agreed. Doing them in the middle of the matches just hurts for me. You can hype things up and you can always see it coming as well. Jill says, did the commentator really just say that her mysterious partner? They haven't formally announced her name yet is the thing. Not on air anyway. Also, as we know, the commentary team does not watch NXT UK. Or NXT, probably. Jeddah says, so happy that Ricochet will be involved in the Money in the Bank match. I don't necessarily think he has much of an opportunity to win it, but I'm excited to see what he can do because it's a ladder match. And ultimately, if it's a ladder match, I want people like Ricochet. I want people like Jeff Hardy. I don't want people like Randy Orton. Even though he can obviously RKO people off a lot of ladders, I'd rather have people like Ricochet than Braun Strowman. Of course, he doesn't work for the company anymore, so he's not a good example. Megan says, the amount of time that they're taking to say Piper's name makes me worry that it will be that daft one. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Doesn't it make you nervous? Doesn't it make you nervous? Sam says, in your opinion, what's better, AEW or WWE? I haven't really watched that much AEW. I like some of what they do, much like in WWE, I like some of what they do. Jury's still out. I think I like SmackDown more than Dynamite, but I like Dynamite more than Raw. Devin says Randy shaved his beard. He does look terrifyingly young when he does that, doesn't he? It's scary. A man at his age can look like a man 10 years younger just by having a quick shave. Scary. Jermaine says, hey, Tom, do you think the WWE will actually have Eva Marie and Piper Niven beat Naomi and Asuka tonight to qualify for Money in the Bank? I want to say no. But it's WWE, so I can't. Like, I want to be able to say, no, that's not happening, but I have every faith WWE would do that. Jill says, is it Raw and SmackDown both in the same match? Yes, there will be 4 men and 4 women from Raw and 4 men and 4 women from SmackDown. The match this year will not be taking place at the exact same time, though. J-Dub, and I completely agree. Says Ricochet can only enhance the Money in the Bank match. He definitely won't hurt it. Someone like Ricochet is so important to be in a match like this. Someone who can just do the flips. But to be fair, AJ Styles would also have served that purpose. Again, I don't see a winner in him, but I also don't see a winner in Drew McIntyre. Jermaine says, by the end of tonight, in the 4 women representing Raw will be Alexa Bliss, Nikki Cross, Eva Marie, and Piper Niven for Money in the Bank. Seems possible. I think it'll be Asuka and Naomi. So Alexa Bliss, Nikki Cross, Asuka, and Naomi. Because honestly, and I'm going to say this plainly, I think Alexa Bliss is winning it. Ed says, I love Orton. He doesn't give a fuck about doing ladder spots. He doesn't. People would have to jump off ladders into RKOs, and they would. They would. Mega says, I'm also bracing myself for the fat shaming to come around again. Yeah, that was disgusting last week. Absolutely disgusting. I have immense respect for Piper Niven for handling it the way she did. She made a very good, positive statement out of a lot of people being absolute dicks. Absolute dicks. So credit to her for that. Sam says, if Jeff Hardy qualifies for Money in the Bank, could we see him do all the flips and risky moves he used to do? Yeah, Jeff Hardy don't give a shit. He'll do a flying off everything. The man's basically a walking break. Like he's got one bone left that hasn't been splintered into 15 pieces, but it's Jeff Hardy. He's still going to dive off stuff. Jill says, Randy and Truth don't age, and Cena, indeed. Ed quite rightly pointing out Ricochet already has a 5-star ladder match, much like world-renowned wrestlers Lars Sullivan, WWE legend EC3. It was a great match, genuinely a great match. We've watched it here. They're choosing the word friend. They're very much choosing the word friend. Eva Marie taking credit for the win as well. Oh. That sucks. I swear he told me. He said he wrestled a match. I'm going to tell him off. I'm going to definitely tell him off for that. He lied to me. Thank you for letting me know. He lied to me. Jacob says, I'd love to see Ricochet go to NXT and fight for the Cruiserweight title. I believe he's less than 205. I get you. Eva Marie has picked up a cold. Okay, so Piper was clearly saying her name was Piper. Piper was clearly saying her name is Piper, and Eva Marie just made up a name. So is it a handicap match now? Eva Marie's definitely not wrestling. Her name's Piper. Ugh. Noob & Co. has redeemed a tell-off for Vince McMahon, so tell him off we will. If Asuka doesn't win tonight, what's the point of her winning the briefcase last year and have Becky give Asuka the Raw Women's title only for it to toss Asuka to the wayside? Now, Noob, I know what you're generally going for, so I'm going to do what you're looking for, even if it's not word for word. Vince, I know you're watching. You watch every show. You thrive on watching my Twitch. You get ideas from this Twitch. Also, I tell you not to do something, and you're like, that is a great idea. I'm going to do that. Horrible. Horrible. We always have questions, and Noob particularly. Noob loves Asuka. Noob loves Asuka. Do you know who clearly doesn't love Asuka? You. Vince McMahon clearly doesn't love Asuka because the opportunities just aren't there. Tonight, here's an opportunity. Here's a chance. Will Doudrop overcome both Naomi and Asuka? I can't imagine she will. But I also can't imagine she'll lose. So what's going to happen here? Give Asuka the chance. Give her the money in the bank. Get her involved. And if you don't, we will be ashamed of a bad Vince. There you go. Sam says Jeff used to do high flying moves. He hardly does them now. I don't agree with that whatsoever, Sam. He still dives off everything. Jeff says, did Eva just cough? Okay, at least it's the same character. Yeah, she's exactly the same. And as regards Dewdrop, Ed says, oh, sadly official now. Indeed. Asuka's having a bit of a dance, and I respect that. Domain says, what the hell, thanks to Eva Marie, Piper Niven's name is Dewdrop. Yeah, that's exactly true. That is horrible. Michael is here saying hi, Tom. May not stick around that long. We just wanted to jump in and say hi. Oh, you are welcome as long as you can be here. And if you can't, you can't, Michael. Thank you very much for dropping in. If you just want to lurk in the background, that would be great too. I love a lurker in this here channel. It helps boost our numbers to no end. But welcome, May. Raw so far looks like it might be okay. But there's a lot of questions. Raw so far has been good. But I have some questions. Megan said they did the daft thing and now I'm annoyed. Me too. I can hear a program where someone will say it's Eva Marie and I can imagine Carmella just do. Hilarious. Hate it. Please remember, if you're watching on YouTube, to click like on the video. That is a big help to us, helps us grow, helps us find subscribers. And if you haven't subscribed, please remember to do that as well. And if you're able to, if you're watching on Twitch, please remember that you can pop over to the YouTube channel. Let me just stick this in the chat so that you can find it. You can pop over to the YouTube channel and click like on it as well. That also helps and is one of the primary reasons we got 10 more subscribers yesterday. 10 more. The more viewers you have, the more you're advertised, the more likes you get, the more you're advertised. By the same token, if you're currently watching on YouTube and you want to watch a whole load more of our content, you can pop over to Twitch, where we do live wrestling shows where you can ask questions about the news. We do our watch-alongs for Raw, SmackDown, and pay-per-views, and we do gaming content on Tuesdays and on Thursdays too. So if you're currently watching on YouTube, you can pop over to twitch.tv/Tom Colohue, click follow there, because we're currently at 212 followers. And if we reach 250, we will be playing the entirety of the game The Last of Us in a single sitting. It is a 15 to 18 hour game that makes me cry my eyes out, and we will do that in a single stream. So please do remember to follow there as well if you can. We are currently on commercial break. The WWE clearly believe that Eva Marie is an incredible draw because they keep taking breaks just before her matches. Like just before her matches. It's a little bit baffling. I'm just going to quickly pop over to... Oh, he's kayfabed it. Yep. That's on me. I didn't realize that the storyline was involved. Rick has kayfabed it. I respect it. Sam says, I know this won't happen, but do you think CM Punk will ever make an in-ring return? You answered that question yourself, mate. Hard no. He has no interest in ever wrestling again, and I just don't think he ever will. He makes enough money now by being CM Punk, using the brand CM Punk, that he really doesn't have to worry. Megan says, but we now have the soundbite for the turn/breakup, her screaming at Eva that her name is Piper. That'll be a face turn, and a strong one at that. I'd take it. I'd definitely take it. What does dewdrop even mean? And Ed has actually already answered, so let's read this out. Dewdrop is moisture in the morning. Not sure how that it applies. I think Eva Marie is just supposed to be dense as fuck. I mean, it's not completely wrong. So that's all I'm saying. It's not completely wrong. Chelsea says, how does Punk make money though? Never see him on anything. Well, firstly, he makes money as guest appearances on things. You look at, for example, Fox Backstage, but he's also writing comics for Marvel. Here's a fun fact about CM Punk. One of the Marvel comics that he wrote was about Drax, who is played in the Guardians of the Galaxy film by Dave Bautista. Eva Marie's in the ring, guys. Eva Marie's in the ring with Asuka. Okay, I thought she was going to wrestle. Sam says, CM Punk said on Fox Backstage that he's willing to return if Vince pays him enough. He did say that. He also didn't make the phone call and say that to people who could actually make it happen. That's the thing. I've heard a number of times that the CM Punk returning to wrestling is one phone call away from happening at any time. At any time. Still, not going to happen. Not going to happen. Ugh, they said dewdrop. Eva did get heat for not being able to say Jinder Mahal and then not knowing where Randy was from. Yep. But I'm not going to say any more on that. Jill says nowhere, so mad. It is. It's one of those things that really sticks out to me personally. It's just hilarious. Chelsea asks, is this a qualifier? Yes, it is. The winning tag team will be added to the Money in the Bank match. And by tag team, I mean it's a handicap match, so tag team is questionable. Certainly would put Piper Niven onto the good path if she's able to beat both. But it's bad for Asuka and Naomi if that happens. Very bad indeed. Though I do think Naomi's someone moving in the draft. Getting her with her husband on SmackDown, ready for touring to start. Piper does a hell of a cannonball. Jill says Punk is coming back only if the price is right. Not just the price, the booking as well. He wants the book. He definitely wants the book. Asuka just rescued Naomi. She only gets one of them. Eva Marie's holding the tag rope. She's got a tag. Piper Niven already looks sick of her. Just looks sick of her shit. Eva Marie going for the cover. Looks like she might be wrestling. Also, I think she needs some better wrestling gear. She needs some better wrestling gear for her lower half. Piper Niven is already abandoning Eva Marie. And Naomi covers Eva Marie. Eva Marie didn't really wrestle. A win for Asuka and Naomi means that Asuka and Naomi are heading straight into the Money in the Bank ladder match. I want to catch up with this, but it may seem like a silly question, but do NXT UK and WWE use the same size ring? Yes, they do. Ed says face turn already. Wow, seems that way. Unless they can work this out. But it seems that way. Jacob just says that's the dumbest name ever, Dewdrop. Yeah, maybe they're getting rid of it. As Ed says there, if she's not staying with Eva Marie, she ain't keeping it. Dewdrop might be a one-night name. Noob says, well, that escalated quickly. Indeed, it did. Sam says, before Punk is at the age to retire, I hope we see him in the ring one more time. I think there is a lot that they can do. A lot that they can do with CM Punk, and a lot that Punk might want to do. But at the same time, he has no interest in wrestling, so he's not going to do it. Megan says, no working out, only Piper decking Eva. I admire your bloodlust. I admire your bloodlust, Stat Queen. Chelsea is already suggesting Doudrop versus Eva Marie at Money in the Bank. More likely, Doudrop walks out on Eva and Eva finds someone new. That seems more likely. Bailey says, not sure about Punk, but could AJ Lee return? There is a possibility for AJ Lee to return. However, ask yourself the following question. AJ Lee returns to the WWE, immediately challenges Becky Lynch. She walks down to the ring to furious chants of CM Punk, CM Punk. She goes up against Becky Lynch in a Hell in a Cell. CM Punk, CM Punk. She becomes a Raw CM Punk. She leaves. Because what's the fucking point? AJ Lee would be followed everywhere she goes by CM Punk chants. And for me, it just don't work. Sonya Deville is wearing a tremendous suit. That is glorious. Sonya Deville and Adam Pearce are coming down to the ring to address controversy as regards Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair. Tell you what they need. They need one of these. Just a little wooden sword and a couple of pirates to just rip everything apart and sort the shit out. That's what they need. That's what they need. Michael says, if Punk hasn't returned by now, then don't count on him coming back at all. I wouldn't count on him, definitely not. Megan says, Eva is disrespecting my fellow Scottish queen. By the customs of our people, Eva gets decked. Actually, that is fair. That is fair. Of the Scots I know, that is customary. And that is, of course, Drew McIntyre as well, is also exactly the same. He would probably punch Eva Marie too. Sam says they have wrestlers in NXT UK who aren't even British. That's true. They also have wrestlers in NXT in the US who aren't from the US. NXT UK is just based in UK. It's basically NXT Europe. Yep, Sam. Absolutely true. They do chant CM Punk even when he's not part of the company anymore. So what chance does AJ Lee actually have? They will just chant CM Punk all over it. When they get fans back, there'll be CM Punk chants. They will be. I don't think people even want him to be back all that much anymore. It's just a case of doing something that they know pisses off Vince McMahon. And it does. It genuinely does. But there's other chants he can do that piss him off a lot more. For example, seeing Roman Reigns and going, yay! He doesn't like that. I'm going to do that. He doesn't like that, though. Jill says, Tom, you should do a watch along for the England game tomorrow. I actually kind of will. What time is the England game tomorrow? I haven't checked. But I believe I will be live when that game starts. Let me just check. Football live. Click on that. It is technically tomorrow. It is 8 o'clock. So I will be live. Thank you, Chelsea. I will be live when that game is on. I'll be playing Football Manager, but I'll also be watching England versus Scotland. So if you want to drop in, Chelsea, you can watch the Football Manager and watch the football together. Pardon me, together with us. Tuesday is Football Manager, but to be fair, Tuesday is basically just football day. It is basically just football day. The Football Manager channels start at 6 p.m. and will continue. Not 6 p.m. It starts at 8. The Football Manager streams start at 8. I'll probably start a little bit earlier to get people in for the game. But yeah, I'll be watching the England game as well. Noob says, I can already get the feeling that Piper will be a great addition to the main roster by ditching Eva Marie. We'll see. My concern is that, my concern is that she'll be forgotten because she's not with the draw, which is Eva Marie. Bailey says, will there be AEW chants with the live crowds? Yeah, probably. Probably. And Sam says, I'm surprised there aren't Beth Phoenix chants when Edge comes out. Nah, that's not how it works. That's not how it works. Edge is the more famous one. It's the other way around. Just like you've seen, it's dewdrop, not dew. That is correct. It is. They've tried to make it indeed quite unique there. Derek says, do you think the Demon King and the Fiend, would it be a good fight? No, I think that would be a terrible match. I think the actual wrestling quality would be shockingly bad. And I think character-wise, that just wouldn't be any fun for anyone. I know people want the spectacle, and it would be a spectacle, but it would only be a visual spectacle. I reported in September that Finn Balor had no plans to use the Demon King in NXT, and NXT was leaving it to him to decide. A couple of days later, he was interviewed by Stephanie Chase, who was able to get him to confirm that exact thing. Chelsea saying, name the streamers England watch along for tomorrow, and they are playing Czech Republic. Yeah, I could do that, but I'm more likely I'm just going to call it football stream. Ultimately, the thing that people are going to see is that I'm playing Football Manager. That's what people are going to see. But I could stick it in the sports category, I suppose. And just make it the dual stream. I think I did that last week. So I'll see that. Megan says, for those wanting CM Punk in the ring, he's going to be on Stephen Amell's new wrestling show on Stars in August. So there you go. That should hopefully scratch the itch. We're at the top of the second hour. So for the second hour draw segment, we always have Charlotte. Right now, actually, literally on the draw segment, we're getting a recap saying, hey, guys, there's going to be a Hell in a Cell match in the main event. There's going to be a Hell in a Cell match. We have had another theme change. So I lose the hat. I lose the sword. I lose the headphones. It's a recap after all. That's fine. And I've got to go fancy pants. Which means the hoodie go bye-bye. Which I was only wearing because it's cold. Hoodie go bye-bye. We throw on a tie. And guys, if you want to have the options to use your channel points while you're watching on YouTube, you can, of course, pop over to Twitch, where you can make me choose a different attire. You can make me cut a promo on Vince McMahon. You can get me to do a terrible impression of The Rock, which hides behind this rock jigsaw. And many more. But in addition, it's not just a tie. It's also a dinner jacket. And I like that you've just had me change right when Sonya Deville is coming down, looking like a glorious pirate queen. Glorious pirate queen. Right. Sam says, in my opinion, I think WWE should get the license for El Generico, Sami Zayn's ex-alter ego. No, mate, no. That a lot of people get this confused. El Generico and Sami Zayn are not the same person, not even slightly. They're completely different. If you look at the body shapes, they're very different builds. Their offense is very different. If you look a little deeper, you will be able to tell that there are some key differences between the two. Megan says, I have to laugh at Punk's character name in the show, Ricky Rabies. Oh, that's cool. Ricky Rabies. Jared says, Lashley must have got a second dose of vaccine. Look at that bandage. You say that, but to be fair, we were all looking at his arm yesterday during Hell in a Cell and saying, is he cut or is that paint? Ed, you're a dick and I hate you, just so you know. You're also completely correct. Completely correct. Nim says, remember that time when Lashley speared through the cage and wrecked Umaga? Or what William Regal called Umanga. Umanga. I wasn't watching at that time, but still, fun. Rhea Ripley's in trouble for getting herself disqualified. Rhea's in danger of going heel here. Sam says, I always thought Samu was El Generico. Nope, completely different guys. El Generico's retired from wrestling. He lives in an orphanage in Southern America. Sami Zayn had never wrestled before he joined WWE. Never wrestled a single match. Those rules weren't meant to be abused. Are you fucking kidding me, Adam, you absolute numpty? Ed, you are the hammer hitting the nail on the head. Charlotte Flair also looks tremendous. Why does she always match Sonya? I'm tweeting that. 100% tweeting that. Why does Charlotte always dress perfectly to match? Why have you scrolled down? Stop doing that. Match? Yeah. Even tagged them. Like, they're in the ring at the minute, so they won't see it. But still. I know, J-Dub. I'm trying to make it clear with the orphanage comment. Megan says, appreciation for good tailoring. Love to see it. The rematch will happen at Money in the Bank. We have it confirmed by Sonya Deville. Yeah, when it comes to really big names, they try to keep them out. But I think it's also worth pointing out that they made that clear when Charlotte wasn't in any qualifier that was going to happen. We will have a rematch. Story here is that Rhea Ripley's supposed to have absolute confidence that she can't beat Charlotte. She's supposed to feel inferior. And I don't like that. Just let her win. Let her win a match. Should not be difficult. It's infuriating. I wouldn't say the Money in the Bank match needs Charlotte Flair at this point. Especially when you have people of the level of Alexa Bliss, Asuka in there as well. You have draws, so you don't need to worry too much about it. Jacob says, I saw an advanced copy of Sammy's documentary. He actually lived in an orphanage during his early years of wrestling. Really? It's amazing how many connections these two people have. It stuns me that they've never crossed paths. Stuns me. Sam, mate, it's a recurring joke. It's a recurring joke. It's a popular wrestling joke. I'm joking with you. We have a recap of the Hell in a Cell kickoff match between Natalya and Mandy Rose. Mandy Rose, of course, tapping out very quickly to the sharpshooter. Yeah, you hear the joke about Sami Zayn, well, El Generico and his orphanage quite a lot. I thought it had reached everyone, but I'll just make it clear. It is a joke. Natalya and Tamina are photo shoot. Her interviewer is wearing a suit that makes, well, a dress that makes her slot really comfortably into the backdrop. Like if you took a picture, you'd just see her head. Meanwhile, there is drama. Are we just going to get another brawl? I don't want it. It's interesting how close this ring is to the doors. I don't know why that's interesting to me, but it is. Natalya beat Mandy Rose comfortably. Yeah, it just looks like we're going to have another random brawl. Yeah, we're just going to get another random brawl. Kind of disappointing. Rex Tick, welcome to the show, mate. Says, what is your main reason for following WWE? I've never been asked this question. I'm probably going to go with habit. I grew up watching WWE. I've stuck with it this long. And honestly, as it's the big dog, it's the fastest way to grow on Twitch is watching this. If you, for example, exclusively watch Impact, I don't think I'd have reached 212 followers as quickly as I did. So there's a success element, but also WWE is just the one I watch. If you ask the question as to why I watch it, yeah, it's habit. It's habit. Oh, Randy Orton is in a qualifier. I realize. Sam said if you didn't watch wrestling, you could probably still tell it's him with the orange facial hair. Oh, it is beautiful. It is beautiful. Welcome, Josh Robinson. Thank you very much for subscribing as well. Thank you very much, Josh. Really do appreciate that, mate. Really do. That's the big help for me and my growth. I can only apologize that I don't return the favor due to my financial circumstances, but it means a lot to me that you'd put your faith in these shows. Thank you very much. Welcome to the show. Rextick says, thanks for clearing that up front. No worries, Rextick. No worries. Honestly, no one's ever directly asked me, why do you follow WWE? I think it did just start out as pure habit. Got to be honest. Started watching in 98, stopped watching in 2001, started again in 2014 because it was just, I plugged in my PS4 and there it was. And here we are now. Here we are. Josh saying, no worries, dude. For anyone who doesn't know, Josh Robinson is a streamer right here on Twitch. You can check out his work at twitch.tv/Josh Robinson 00, where he is currently on a Chris Jericho Road to WrestleMania. You can also check out his work at Love Wrestling CA, where I think at this point, I think we're basically we've got a soft partnership with Love Wrestling. Ed Fry's the moderator here and a friend of mine. It pops up quite often. He's giving a shout out to Josh, so you've got a link that you can follow as well. He appears on Love Wrestling quite a bit as well nowadays, and hopefully that will continue too. So I think at this point, we've got a bit of a soft partnership with Love Wrestling. Bit of a soft partnership. We'll try and work out good times to raid again. Since I changed my schedule, it's not quite worked out, but hopefully in future. Wow, Sam. Zayn's heel gimmick makes him look homeless. Wow. A bit bedraggled. Yes, totally. But maybe not there. Maybe not that far. Sam also says, I used to do wrestling moves against my friend. Me too. When I was 12, my stepdad fractured the arms of both of my best friends because they would play wrestling. Good times. Good. It also has posted Legacy of Laycool this week on YouTube on the Love Wrestling CA channel. Josh is asking, are you enjoying Raw? Kinda yes, kinda no. The first hour, I think, has been worth watching. Decent action in the opening match. Now that we know what the main event's going to be, I'm excited for that. Good promos at the beginning, bit of tension between MVP and several others. So a lot of quite promising things, I feel, but it depends how far it goes from here. WWE Raw tends to suffer in the second hour because they save good stuff for the third hour and they start with good stuff as well. So the second hour tends to slow down. Here's the part where I'm worried. Megan, I worry that we're sometimes the exact same person. Heel Sammy looks like Gwildor. All he needs is the key. And I've got to be honest, I would watch that film in a heartbeat. Oh, there we go. Jadeb says I had a figure 4 placed on me and it hurt like hell. The figure 4 genuinely does. Sharpshooter doesn't hurt at all. But the figure 4, because of the way it's moving your ankle into your knee, can be really very painful. Really very painful if it's done properly. It says, I don't like Doudrop as a name, but it might be done after one night if she leaves either. I think we'll have to wait until next week to find out what actually happened there. It certainly looked like a breakup, but then what was the point in having them together at all, you know? And I don't want to throw a negative on the whole thing, but what was the point of doing it if you're just going to stop it the next week? It's literally been 2 weeks. What are you doing, you know? What are you doing? But we'll wait and see as to what actually happens there. We are starting to approach the halfway point of WWE Raw. I want to start by saying anyone who is currently watching on YouTube, if you haven't clicked like yet, I would very much appreciate it if you did. That really helps the channel grow, really helps me find new people as well. We are currently sitting at 584 subscribers. We got 10 new subscribers yesterday during the Hell in a Cell watch party. If you're enjoying this and you would like to see more, please do remember to subscribe. In addition, we're also live on Twitch. You can pop over to twitch.tv/Tom Colahue, where you can click follow and get a notification every time I go live there. Most of my live content is purely on Twitch, so if you can pop over there, you will not regret it. J-Dub says maybe the storyline will be Eva bringing in new talent and they keep ditching her. I would find that very, very funny. Devin just says the Doudrop thing is stupid. I like straight talkers. I respect that. And Megan says, I want Sammy to turn the briefcase into the key now. As long as we can get the song, and I'd like that. Sam says, when did you start YouTube? Technically, December 2019, but I didn't really work very hard on it until about 2 months ago. About 2 months ago, I started to really focus on the YouTube and the growth. And then in January is when I started on Twitch. We're already up to 212 followers since January, so I'm very, very happy with that. But I hope we can do more as well. I hope one day to turn this into a living and not be homeless. So that'd be great. That'd be great. Wow, my stomach did a gurgle. Ah, right, okay. So Randy Orton made his entrance, but it wasn't for a Randy Orton match. I think it's very clear who the draw is of these three people if they're showing the Randy Orton entrance and not the Drew McIntyre entrance. Very telling. Very telling. Randy Orton is prowling. Oh, of course, it's Orton versus Morrison. Oh, I forgot about that match entirely. See, this is another one. Randy Orton should win this match. If you go in like in kayfabe, Randy Orton should win this match. But John Morrison would just be so much better in a Money in the Bank match. It's the ladder match. It's John Morrison. Make it happen. But how's he going to do it? We'll wait and see, I guess. I do like that he keeps bringing the Miz with him just as his manager now. He's got a chain on the back of his wheelchair. That could be used as a weapon. I get that it's, it's bling, but still. Sam says, if you had the choice to book someone to return from the past decade, who would you bring back and why? Well, a number of options, as in someone who's retired. If it's someone who's retired and just completely moved on, it would be CM Punk. I think CM Punk would fit in perfectly with current WWE programming. If you're talking about someone who's just not there at the moment, Becky Lynch probably. But honestly, I'm a big fan of Brock Lesnar. I genuinely think he gets pro wrestling because the matches he puts on are moderately simple, but very effective. He knows how to affect you emotionally. Hence why the AJ Styles, the Daniel Bryan Survivor Series matches with Brock Lesnar, the format's exactly the same. The formula's the same. The match is basically the same, but they're still considered fantastic. The match has just started and Randy Orton has already got John Morrison locked into a rest hold. Nice to see that some things never change. Some things truly never change. It says, now I'm casting a WWE Master of the Universe. Vincent Skeletor, obviously, and that's fair. That's fair. I do think Roman Reigns would be very good in that role. Just imagine him saying, throw down your weapons. I'd like it. I'd like it. Sam said I would bring back someone like Batista or Kozlov. I think Batista would add a lot to the current product in drawing power, but I think he was just a bit sick of it, to be honest. I think he was a bit sick of it. If anyone hasn't seen Masters of the Universe, it is the live-action He-Man movie. Dolph Lundgren was He-Man. There are terrible elements, but it's actually not a bad film. And the music does really get in your head. Megan, we seriously nerd over the exact same things. All right, this match is looking quite technical. I like that they clearly have someone in position purely recording The Miz. Just in case they want to cut away to The Miz at any point. They've just got a cameraman ready and waiting. Jada said I tried to block that film from memory. Well, sorry, but yeah, you remember Masters of the Universe? Shut up, chair. I can only apologize for ruining that attempted suppression. Masters of the Universe. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. The Miz is slowly rolling forwards. How will a dripstick be used? How will the dripstick be used? You do, Megan. You also have Courtney Cox of Friends fame and Robert Duncan McNeil of Star Trek Voyager fame. I'm going to go Star Trek Voyager. That's the one that immediately jumps to my mind. I think this was before Friends. I think it was before Friends. I would laugh my ass off if it was 2 seasons into Friends. She had to record that and then go back and it came out while she was recording. That'd just be rough. Jacob says, hey, there was use of the commentator table. This match didn't stop because of it. Should have been a DQ. Should have been a DQ. The rules are there. We don't piss around with the rules. And Sam says, remember when the Young Bucks were on TNA? Nope, absolutely I do not. Megan says, not sure if many people know this as well. We're going a bit R-rated nowadays. But the original Twilight fanfic that led to the 50 Shades franchise was called Masters of the Universe. So thirsty. Was in Voyager. It was in 87, well before Friends. Fair enough, fair enough. Year before I was born. Jada quite rightly pointing out, it's a rule when convenient. Yeah, when they can use it for the narrative, when they can use it for the storytelling, then they remember. And it becomes a rule. Until then, nah. Who needs it? Who needs rules? Rules are made to be broken and all that jazz. And they're not, but, you know, I'm not going to argue with you about it. Jermaine, a little while ago, I clicked on this tweet from Megan Sittim. I was aware of Courtney Cox being in it, but I appreciate you giving me a little bit of a puzzle there. I'm enjoying how many people have seen the film. Enjoying. Can anyone in the channel guess where my profile logo came from? I think I recognize it, but I'm not sure. It comes across like a Mortal Kombat thing for me. I'll leave it up for another minute so everyone can have a good look and see if it jumps out at them. After all, we are on a commercial break. When we come back, Randy Orton is going to have John Morrison in a rest hold. Because that's sort of Randy Orton's thing. Randy Orton wrestles slow. Randy Orton wrestles slow. We'll see if it jumps out to anyone. Oh, no rest hold. You just punch him in the corner. That works. And it says, Masters of the Universe is older than me, but not by much. Made in August 87. My debut on Earth was in February 88. You are slightly older than me as well, Megan. Slightly older than me. Ed just says, I feel old. I'm not going to apologize for that. Not going to apologize. I mean, you give me plenty of shit. It's nice to know I can pass some back. Hope you feel ancient. Hope you feel like you've been around from the beginning of time. Love you, Ed. And now the rest holds come. They got their timing off. They got their timing off, I should say. This is a very veteran match. Very slow paced. This is 2008 WWE right here. John Morrison looks like he's trying to pick it up. Into the ring post. Randy Orton immediately checking to see if his arse had come out. I like that. I like that. John Morrison working a limb. Working just the one limb. I like Orton always reaching for the camera. It's just like, I like that. The Miz is just rolling around and around the ring. It looks like Orton has some new knee pads as well. Are they RK Bro knee pads? The audio of a commercial break has started. The visual has not. I can hear a commercial break. Interesting. I think that was a USA Network thing. Megan just says, I feel ancient most of the time. Yeah, me too. Me too. I think that's the thing that happens when you come out of a 10-year relationship, to be honest. Always have that moment of, okay, well, I'm in my 30s, I'm single now, so that's me done for. So I'm feeling at the moment, certainly. Just saw a lot of John Morrison. More than I expected. Sam, completely disagree. I'm very happy with Kofi Kingston's current gimmick. Very happy with it. I don't want him to be Jamaican again. That don't work for me. Orton's selling very well for John Morrison here, really making him look like a big deal. Yeah, Megan, that's what it sounded like with how they talked about it afterwards. Sounds like they were showing an F9 promo during the match going by the audio. They must have done that on a different network, so maybe USA Network it was showing the advert, but not there. No, Matt, I absolutely did not say that. We were talking about Kofi Kingston's Jamaican accent. Welcome back. Glad to see you, mate. Welcome to the show. Jacob says, I remember my 30s fondly, long time ago. You guys are not allowed to feel old. As the elder of the group, I forbid it. I specifically feel old right now. I go through, I'm just going to be real with you guys right now. And like, I know we're all having a laugh and a joke here, but I'm just going to be a little bit real. I don't necessarily feel old. I feel pointless. I feel like I haven't really accomplished anything in my life. And that's my experience. And I shouldn't. I know I shouldn't. Everyone tells me the 30s are where your life really gets started, where things really start going your way. You spend your 20s trying to work out who you are and so on and so forth. But I always feel like I'm missing something. Like no matter what I'm doing, oh, I've missed a chance to do this. I've missed a chance to do this. Just being real with you guys. Obviously, right now, when I'm kind of in a bit of an extra fragile state, it's something I struggle to sleep because I literally lay there thinking I'm pointless and worthless and unwanted. Just you remember the little voice in your head? Mine just keeps whispering that at me. Randy Orton just got hit by a dripstick. Yeah, let's forget the real talk. Randy Orton just got hit by a dripstick. Sam says, I'm 19 and I feel old. No. Matt says, I've kind of got a bit of a wrestling and streaming resurgence in me. We'll see if I make some content now. Good to hear, mate. Good to hear. We got to get you into it. Just find things you're passionate about, mate, and people will come and watch the streams. As long as you're enjoying it, I don't see any reason why other people won't enjoy it as well. Matt Riddle is chasing the Miz away and out of the ring. Well, he wasn't in the ring, but away from ringside. Randy Orton's distraction has allowed Morrison to hit Starship Pain and win the match. AJ Styles and Randy Orton have both lost singles matches today. Randy Orton and AJ Styles have both lost singles matches today. This is a very different Raw to what I expected earlier today. So far, the men's Money in the Bank is Ricochet and John Morrison. Two people who are not winning. Not winning at all, but still. Good start. Good start. I'm sorry to hear you say that, Ed. Very sorry to hear you say that. You make a big difference to us here. Bye, Sam. Glad to have you drop in. Please subscribe if you haven't already and click like on the video. And hopefully we'll see you for some more in the future, mate. We'll see you soon. Jermaine says, I have this weird feeling that the Raw side might actually dominate Money in the Bank and win both briefcases. I hope not, but Alexa Bliss and Drew winning is possible. I don't want Drew to be in that position. I don't want him to be in that position. I'd rather have Matt Riddle win the match. Genuinely would rather have Matt Riddle win the match. But I find it unlikely. It is, after all, Drew McIntyre. We've now got a recap of what happened with Alexa Bliss and Shayna Baszler. Lots of recaps. Lots of recaps. Matt says, to be a bit more serious, Tom, everyone has those moments. Let me tell you, sometimes you can act on it to better yourself. Sometimes all you can do is try to not think about it. Yeah, it's a struggle. I'm having difficulty lately. Got lost thinking about how tiny our existence is on the infinite side of the universe. I think my depression evolved recently, which sounds silly at the start, but essentially at some point I accidentally became a nihilist. Nihilism, for those who don't know, is a belief that there is nothing after life. Hence the question about pointlessness. I could talk a lot about mental health. I've had a lot of struggles and still do. I struggle every single day. Every single day. I have some sort of panic attack or something like that. I really genuinely struggle. Maybe one day we'll talk more about that. But for now, WWE Raw. Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross will be taking on Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax next. Alexa has a new intro. I feel they are separating Alexa from the Fiend here. That's very different. She's got everything. It is Chelsea. Right. And it says, also, Tom, wanted to let you know that I was looking up Flip Gordon getting caned by Bully Ray. Not only has it disappeared from YouTube, but your Raw stream is the first thing suggested, and people also watch this. Is it, Ed, or were you logged in? If you're logged into your account, YouTube will naturally show you things which it thinks you're going to like. So it may have just seen a similar wrestling tag and gone for that. That may have been what they went for. Megan says, I actually hope Alexa and Nikki win. Me too. First, he gets Nikki into Money in the Bank. Second, we finally get Beast Mode Shayna back. Long overdue. Long overdue. I don't think we should have had to wait this long. Shayna to actually just become the Shayna Baszler that we know she's capable of. This just feels like they've been holding her back the entire time, and it's a bit shameful. It's a bit shameful. Also, to be fair, Ed, you are saying that people watch a video that doesn't exist anymore, and also my Raw stream. Okay, done that. Jermaine says Alexa's new intro music for this match interesting. Yeah, I do feel they're trying to distance her from the Fiend with this particular choice. Megan says, I just want Shayna to beat everyone up again. You're not alone, Megan. You're not alone. I would love that. Just to go full Shayna Baszler. Macho says, typical WWE when it comes to a call-up. They change up what is working on NXT for no reason. Something that works on NXT doesn't automatically work on the main roster. I think this is one of the reasons we've seen so many attempted tweaks. But the WWE can screw it up as well. They tried to tweak Aleister Black how many times? They tweaked him and tweaked him and tweaked him. And eventually, they released him because none of them worked. None of them worked. Jill says, did anyone see the AEW video game preview? I did not. I saw some of the screenshots, and it looks interesting, but I didn't see anything else there. Ed, I'm not sure what you're talking about there. Not sure what you're talking about. If you could clarify, that would be great. We are halfway through Raw. So far, wrestling content has been very good. We have not had rematches. We've had new, interesting matches that make it work. Oh, hang on. Matt says, you get me to turn on Raw for the first time in how long? Don't know, mate, but it's a long time, I'm sure. It's a long time, I'm sure. I think storylines and stuff really pick up as they get live audiences. I think the plan is to throw everything they can into SummerSlam. After that, I think they're not sure. That's the question. After that, I just don't think they're sure. Sheamus' old theme song, he said it was shameful, so I was trying to get you to sing, but it didn't work. You've got to remember, I didn't watch for a lot of time, so I probably don't know it. Chelsea's opinion is that so far Raw is 6.5 out of 10, which honestly, not bad. Not bad. We've had worse. And Megan says, Shayna beating up everyone works. Ricochet being a confident high flyer works. Let us have them back. To be fair, Ricochet is there. We have got Ricochet back. He's being featured. He's now in the Money in the Bank match. He beat AJ Styles earlier. This is good. This is very good. When it comes to Shayna, basically all I can say. I hope the moment can come. I really do. But I also don't believe in it. Interesting that the 3D Alexa head is now also a Lily head. We currently have Corpse Bride Alexa. This is still not Lilith Alexa. I think essentially because they know they can't do costume changes. Also new music. And she's now a butterfly. She's Mighty Molly. Ooh. Can you imagine a worse tag team than Creepy Doll and Mighty Nikki? Well, she's got new music. I'm guessing there's a push coming. What am I looking at here? So I don't know what to do. Yeah, let's go through some of these. Noob says, looks like Nikki Cross got new gear and a new entrance and a new persona. Bailey says, when did Nikki become Hurricane Helms? Like 20 minutes ago? Ugh. Chelsea says she better win after the speech. Yeah, I'm even more confident she's going to win now than I was beforehand. J-Dub just goes with the classic, oh my. Oh my. Megan says, what in the name of Smeg has happened to Nikki Cross? I don't know. I don't know. Bailey says, you know it's bad when Tom is speechless. Yeah. Here's the thing. As a streamer, my job is to talk. My job is to essentially talk at all times. To basically never stop talking. That's literally my job. And I had nothing. I had nothing on that. Pardon me, nothing. Chelsea and Nikki Ninja Turtle. Yeah, the mask is a bit much, isn't it? A bit much. Yeah. Noob says we're not blaming Asuka for inspiring Nikki Cross acting like a superhero. We're blaming creative for all of this, okay? Gotcha. Like I said, Nikki looks like what you would get if you order Mighty Molly from Wish. Oh, you make some good jokes, mate. You make some good jokes. And it says it could be worse. It could always be worse. I don't believe in ever saying it couldn't be worse because it could be worse. Like my situation now, I could be completely out of money and homeless. It could be worse. I'm making dark humor to keep my levity going, by the way. Jermaine Presley says Nikki Cross, the new Hurricane Helms / Molly Holly. Indeed. Oh, Nia Jax just ran into a turnbuckle. Fantastic. I like that from Alexa Bliss. Just hovering. Ed has redeemed another theme change. Oh, lovely from Nikki. Lovely dive over the top. And it looks like we're going into another commercial break. Alexa looks very happy with Nikki Cross. And because we're going into commercial break, Ed has redeemed another theme change, which is now our complete set. So we're going from fancy pants to Christmas. It's going to be Christmas in June all over again. So bear with me while I do this. Hopefully you all can still hear me. I'm going to put that back there. Take off the tie, which I always keep tied, just in case. And we make it Christmas. So I'm going to throw on a Christmas jumper. It is Christmas in June. My hair's going to be ridiculous by that. You always seem to like to end it on Christmas, don't you, Ed? You always seem to like to end it on Christmas. But yeah, these are always good for a commercial break. Just make a few changes. And the spending of channel points helps add to the overall people in the show. Because the more channel points you use on Twitch in a stream, the more advertised your stream is to Twitch, and the easier it is for people to find you. Meanwhile, that is also true of bits, of subs, and of course, in its purest form, of hype trains. I have recently had 2 hype trains. It was an incredible experience. Oh, God damn it. Let's catch up first. Noob says, let's hope Nia Jax won't fall on her you-know-where. I imagine that's her hole. Let's all talk about her hole. Chelsea says, why don't they just all wear sunglasses and then they won't get possessed? So basically like Men in Black. Just wear your sunglasses and vroom. So like Men in Black, you just wear your sunglasses and like vroom. So like Men in Black, you just wear your... I don't want to go Men in White on you. I do. It's fun and festive. Oh. Nick says, hi, Tom. Are you enjoying the show? I am enjoying the show, actually. I think Raw's been pretty good, especially with the changes that they've just made to Alexa and Nikki Cross. Big changes. Very telling. And now Ed wants me to cut a promo on Tom's favorite mod in the style of what does The Rock say? So let's bust out The Rock. You know The Rock's a big fan of the Tom Colohue stream, but you know what The Rock gets confused by? Where are the mods? Where are the people maintaining control? Where are the people stopping people from coming in and saying how to get famous? Where are they? The Rock asks Ed Fries, when's the last time you muted someone? Admittedly, when's the last time you needed to? But The Rock says, where is it? Where is it? Instead, The Rock's got to sit here and look at this jackass in a pirate hat. The Rock's got to sit here and look at this jackass wearing a nice suit and tie. The Rock's got to sit here and look at this jackass taking that suit and tie off so we can put on a jumper and say it's Christmas in June. The Rock does not respect you, Ed Fries. It is not Christmas in June. The Rock is not festive, it seems. It says, paid out last night's prediction. I didn't do it, it seems. That happens. It happens. Alexa Bliss has just tagged in. Seems like they are becoming a tag team again. Which, you know, WWE does need tag teams. And this works. Also keeps Alexa Bliss out of the actual title scene. Baszler with a little bit of a cheat. Going for the eyes, which is a good call. If she can literally hypnotize you with her eyes, pull her eye out. Just pull her eye out. I don't think it's difficult. Just grab her eye and then yank. Pull both her eyes out. Your timing is fantastic, Conrad. Welcome, mate. If you smell... Oh, one of the thing hasn't worked. Welcome, Conrad. Conrad, for anyone who doesn't know, hosts the EPW show. That is Everything Pro Wrestling on YouTube. Welcome to the show, mate. Are you enjoying Raw today? Are you having fun? It's also a pretty good time, actually, to re-advertise the show. So let's do that. Let's re-advertise the show and let people know what we are doing here today. I'm currently on 3 away, 215 followers on Twitch. We're live now. Our WWE Raw watch party. Jump on in and see if the water is to your liking. There you go. It's HTTPS www.twitch.tv/Dom Dollahue. Every little helps. Every little helps. And the more people we can get in here, the more of a future I might have. Alexa Bliss looked like she went for a Lou Thesz press. The catch was difficult. Difficult. Alexa Bliss is going for the code red. Oh, very nice from Shayna. Very nice from Shayna. I think she's ripped her shorts. Yeah, I think the crawl that she does, I think has ripped her shorts a little bit. Just at the bottom, near one of the legs. So nothing obscene, but she'll be disappointed with that. The amount of times I've heard a female wrestler just so upset because their tights have ripped during their entrance or something like that. The amount of times. Conrad says, Raw has been better. Some questionable character stuff. I get that. But I'm waiting to see where it's going before I judge. Absolutely. Absolutely. I think it's one of those. You have to give it the opportunity to prove whether it's good or bad. You have to come in with an open mind. But it's not always easy. Not always easy. Sometimes it's just about trying to show faith and belief, but Raw has a track record. You remember. It's easy to remember all the bad times. Reginald is now entranced by Alexa Bliss. Oh, he's going to slap Nia. He's going to slap Nia. Oh, he didn't. Oh. He fought back. He fought back. Nice. Thank you, Jada. I did see it pop up. I haven't gone over to read it because I am on stream, but I will do a bit later. That's also true of that Matt as well. I know that you sent me a message. Shayna Baszler's lost again. Shayna Baszler's lost again. Fuck's sake. Welcome back, Sam, by the way. I wanted Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross to qualify for Money in the Bank. I do still believe that Alexa Bliss is probably going to win it. She's the pick for me. But I still didn't want Shayna Baszler to lose every damn one. Every damn one. Chelsea has redeemed a What Does The Rock Say, saying Shayna, Knight, and Reggie need to have an exorcism for Lily and Alexa. Here he goes. You know, The Rock has a question. The Rock has seen scary movies. He's seen films with ghosts and creepy things. Alexa Bliss, she's a damn creepy thing. You've got Nia Jax there with a broken butthole. You got Shayna Baszler there with her broken confidence. You got Reginald there who's just broken. Why can't you work it out? The obvious stuff. The Rock says you need to have an exorcism. You need to hire an exorcist. You need to hire The Rock to come down, look Alexa Bliss right in the eye and say, Lily, if you don't get out of there, I'm going to drag you out. I'm going to smack your bitch ass up. And before you know it, you little jabroni, are going to be straight up that candy ass. I feel that one got better as I went on. I really do. Drew McIntyre is going for Winston Churchill. Probably don't want to do that one. It's genuinely not a good choice. He was a pretty massive racist. Also found it quite funny that Drew McIntyre is literally hanging around outside the student lounge. I have questions. Right. J-Dub says, is this a permanent change for Cross? I would say so. She made a speech beforehand which made it pretty clear that this was long-term. Conrad says, what was the explanation for Cross as a superhero? Essentially, she was looking to try and re-find herself over the last few weeks. And this is what she landed on. Naturally, I have questions. Many questions. But who knows? Megan is furious at the fact that Shayna Baszler lost again. Like, just have Nia Jax lose one match. Every now and then. Nia Jax doesn't always have to be protected. New says Shayna lost to a superhero, and last night she lost to a freak of nature in Alexa Bliss. Accurate. B-School Nick is saying it's weird that they never showed Alexa at the end of the match. It could be that they were trying to just keep you away from that part, put a focus on Nikki. Bailey says 1990s Vince would do an exorcism of Alexa on TV. Yeah, but to be fair, 1990s Vince also tried to marry his daughter to The Undertaker by force. Stranger things have happened. Chelsea says, quite rightly, I just realized now the women's Money in the Bank will just be full of shenanigans. Yeah, the Alexa Bliss is not going to be wrestling in the conventional capacity during the Money in the Bank. She's going to be wrestling as Alexa Bliss. This version of Corpse Bride Alexa Bliss, of course. So it's going to be different. It's going to be different. Like I says, they are really pushing the RK Bro merch, and they are. And to be fair, it's selling. It's selling quite strongly. People are really behind RK Bro as a team. For a lot of people, it's their reason to tune in for Raw. Conrad says, I feel like this is Molly Holly inspired. Is she still trying to get a job as an agent? Molly Holly did interview for an agent. I don't know if she was successful. This suggests to me that she was, because to me, I'm with you. This does scream Molly Holly to me. It screams Molly Holly. Jada is saying 2021 version of Mighty Molly. Yeah, that's definitely how I see it. Sam says, do you think Nikki Cross will get possessed by Alexa? No, I don't. I think they'll stay moderately separate in this regard, but is it a face or heel? Is it a heel? Is it two heel? I don't know. Jill says, just wonder how they will do it in front of fans. Oh yeah, for the Money in the Bank. Alexa Bliss has been honed, essentially. She sat down and tried to reinvent her character now that they know fans are coming back. Lily the doll, gone. Costume changes, gone. This is now the Alexa Bliss you're going to get, and that's all. This is the Alexa Bliss. Involves a lot of acting from other people, but I think it's very possible that we see Alexa Bliss climbing a ladder, Naomi on the other side of it. She just looks at her, and then Naomi climbs down, and Alexa Bliss takes a briefcase. I think that's a very likely scenario. We are coming up to our final hour of Raw. It's gone pretty quick. Like it's gone pretty quick. I think Raw's been good, guys. I think I've enjoyed it. I really needed it to be good this week. Like, I genuinely needed it to be good for the distraction purpose. But it actually has. I can honestly sit here and say I have enjoyed this Monday Night Raw. Someone 7 says, do you think Drew will win this match? Genuinely not sure. Because the WWE have been aiming at upper mid-card guys, I think Riddle is more likely to get the nod than McIntyre. But then how do we get there? Because it's Drew McIntyre. Riddle would not beat Drew McIntyre clean. He just wouldn't. Could Randy Orton be involved? Definitely. But then I don't want to go back to a Drew McIntyre-Randy Orton feud. This ideally is your moment for Jinder Mahal. Conrad quite rightly saying, I think the fresh matchups help. And these are all fresh. These are all new. These are all different. They're giving us a lot. The only real rematch was the tag match just then, because Alexa Bliss and Shayna Baszler wrestled last night at Hell in a Cell. But because it was a tag match, and because you had a new Alexa Bliss and a new Nikki Cross, and the focus was Nikki Cross, it felt completely different. If this is how WWE are going forwards, I'm convinced. Even the Rhea Ripley Charlotte Flair segment did not outstay its welcome. It did not outstay its welcome. Chelsea says Drew versus Roman. Possibility. I think Drew and Roman are going to be clashing again sooner rather than later. Drew, for me, is probably heading to the other side. Oh, hey, Jinder Mahal. There is one more qualifier to be announced. And we have a lot of people backstage asking why they haven't got the shot. Fatal 4-way? Fatal 4-way with Jeff Hardy winning? Rolex. Sheamus is just sort of there. He's rolling with the gobshites. To be fair, I think Sheamus, as US champ, should be entered automatically. I mean, that's Sheamus essentially saying, yeah, I'm out. Name drop from Mahal to Drew McIntyre. Keep your eye on Drew McIntyre. Keep your eye on Drew McIntyre. Comrade says, RK Bro will challenge for the tag titles by SummerSlam, or if it flounders, they can do Orton versus Riddle. They can. I'm confident that's our SummerSlam match, with Viking Raiders being involved at Money in the Bank, but not coming out successful on it. I'm pretty confident of that, so I completely agree with what you're saying. It says, Vince marrying Steph to Taker is still not the top of crazy shit Vince tried to do to Steph. Fair. Yeah, and some stuff even that Steph herself suggested. She's a McMahon, isn't she? They know how to make money at their own expense. Their own really weird expense. Their own please God stop it expense. Now that segment took a while. So I reckon they're going to have a commercial break now. And Matt Riddle just will have to have stood in the ring for about 15 minutes. Jesus Christ. McIntyre's back. Oh, why are you wrestling tonight? Oh, he just broke the RK Bro mug. I respect it. Why are you wrestling tonight? Drew gets all the pyro. All the pyro. Based on what Jinder Mahal was saying, logically at this point, Drew wins. Jinder Mahal then attacks Drew McIntyre with his backup. Then Jinder Mahal gets annoyed that he isn't automatically entered into the match. Probably Riddle, and then we have a Jeff Hardy versus Cedric Alexander match with Jeff Hardy winning it. And then we end up with Riddle, Hardy, Ricochet, and Morrison on the Raw side. And we end up with Mahal versus McIntyre during the actual event. That makes sense for me. That's what I see happening. This could be a really fun match. This could be. I don't know if it'll have enough time to. Ultimately, we have just started the third hour and Drew McIntyre is being considered a draw here, but I don't know if it'll get the time it needs. We have this match, and we do have the Hell in a Cell main event between Bobby Lashley and Xavier Woods. I don't feel there'll be any more. If anything, we'll just get a couple of backstage promos to tide us over until the main event. But I don't know. Raw's been good. I've enjoyed it. Good kick. I would actually like it if Riddle did pick up the win clean here on the basis of Drew being hurt from Hell in a Cell. I think that would be very good storytelling. Drew's struggling. Megan says, and I thoroughly agree, Raw's kind of flown by. It has. That is absolutely fair. Raw has indeed just sort of flown by. It's impressive. That one. It's very impressive, and like I said, I've enjoyed it. The fact that we're just starting the third hour, and I don't feel like I've had to... I haven't even taken a break. I haven't even taken a break. I haven't even done an ad break. Just enjoyed it. It's been good. Weird as it is to say, it's been damn good. McIntyre with a deadlift suplex. Riddle got up so quickly he very nearly landed on his feet on the other side, which would have been an awkward moment for Drew, but they probably could have sold it. Drew, as we know, does like to call things in the ring. Matt Riddle can go shoot style. We all know Matt Riddle can go shoot style. The question is just, will he? Drew McIntyre's physical. He likes getting hit. He likes going vicious. He doesn't mind if you unleash on him a little bit. As is right now, Riddle's kind of overselling, but he's making McIntyre look good. Jimmy Smith. I like what Jimmy Smith is doing right now. Corey and Saxon are both saying how bad it is for Drew McIntyre to be involved in the match right now because of just recovering from everything on his back. Meanwhile, Jimmy Smith is trying desperately to get them to just say what strategy should he be focused on. What strategy? Well, he probably shouldn't be in the ring, but what strategy should he use? And I like that. It says, Tom, I think you should do a Loki watch along for your birthday, as it'll be episode 5 of 6 for season 1 of Loki. The only issue there is that it's 8 o'clock in the morning. But hey, maybe. We can make something work. As I say, the plan of my birthday is essentially just to do like all of it. Spend as much of the day as possible streaming, just in different phases. So one stream will be this thing, one stream will be this thing, one stream will be this thing. And just have a massive party. Just have a massive party. That's the plan. So I don't see any reason not to do that. And it says, another thing, if Riddle wins, Randy didn't, so they could work that with RK Bro. They could. That's a good shout. That's a good shout. We'll certainly give an opportunity to advertise their merch, which is all you really need. It's all you really need. Riddle with an overhead suplex there. And we're going into commercial break. You can always tell when you're about to get into commercial break. It's a pain in the ass. It's a big pain in the ass. BT Sport are advertising very small boxes. I say very small, knowing that I'm quite a small man myself. And this guy would undoubtedly beat the living shit out of me. That doesn't change the fact that he's very small. And we will be calling spades spades here. I am going to take a bathroom break. So I'm going to turn off my microphone here. On Twitch, you'll see a brief commercial break. Please do stick around for it, as that gives me a little bit of income. Until then, I'm going to stick my branding on for The Last of Us, and I will be back in just a moment. Please do not go away. Welcome back, everyone. We are still not quite back, as it were. Not on WWE Raw, but it's just piping up now. We only have 50 minutes left of Raw, and it's actually gone pretty quickly, I feel. Pretty quickly. Conrad is celebrating Nestle Crunch. Oh, now I want chocolate. Now you're making me want chocolate. Bad for you. It says, if you wake up to watch at 8, I might have you come watch on Discord with me and my buddy. Possibly. It's an option. I don't know if I'll wake up at 8, but we'll see. I can, of course, also just watch it on my TV. So it's not the biggest issue. Megan says, Helms has just called Nikki Hurricane on Twitter, and I just want to just unsee it because that's likely to be her name by next week. Hurricane. Love it. Absolutely love it. Hurricane. They are showing the cell and only the cell. There is literally a wrestling match going on right now, and they're just ignoring that while they instead look at the cell. Oh, it's because Drew McIntyre's literally in a headlock. Ugh. Always headlocks. For anyone who has not done so yet, by the by, it would do me a great help if you could pop over to the YouTube stream and click like on that video. That helps us grow, helps us find new members of the audience. And a brief rush of about 10 likes that we got yesterday did result in quite a few subscriptions. It wasn't all just people from Twitch, I'll tell you that. It wasn't all just people from Twitch. Megan says, rest holds for ad breaks. Orton's rubbing off on Riddle. He is. Riddle's learning. RKO, rest holds, plug your merch. He knows how it's done. He knows how it's done. Drew McIntyre is starting to reassert himself. Oh, lovely overhead. Lovely overhead. Slight delay on the neck breaker, but we got there. We got there. It worked. McIntyre with the kip up. Really struggling at this point. He's now limping as well. Oh, it's awkward. Literal wounded animal. I don't know if Drew's going to do any more kickouts at 1. That does seem to have become his thing. Just kicking out at 1. I liked Riddle's eyes there watching the referee, trying to make sure he kicked out as late as humanly possible. A lot of focus in that. Riddle's been fighting a lot of the top guys. LaShawn, welcome. Says, why do I have this feeling Jinder is going to feud with Drew since they showed him before the match? Jinder Mahal has been trying to get Drew McIntyre's attention for a while now. The pay-per-view before Hell in a Cell, so WrestleMania Backlash, he appeared on an episode of The Bump in the preview, in the build-up to it, and cut a promo purely on Drew McIntyre. And essentially, they keep pushing towards that one. It's going to happen. Jinder and Drew is going to happen. And honestly, now's definitely the time for Jinder to jump in to the fray. Love the Alabama Slam. Absolutely love it. Matt Riddle has had very little offense here. Despite the clear injuries to Drew McIntyre, he still absolutely dominated Riddle. Riddle doesn't look like he stood any chance whatsoever in most of this. We're on the top. I think Riddle's going to do a flip here. He's changed his mind. Drew's power squat fails. I know how you feel, Drew. I know how you feel. Oh, they're going to do the double stomp, aren't they? Oh, no. The sit-up suplex. I should have remembered. He doesn't do it too often, and that's a good thing. He doesn't do it too often, but you can usually see it coming. I missed out that time, but usually you can see it coming. Randy Orton has appeared at the top of the ramp. Prowling again, wearing his arcade bro. It's a snake in a cap. I love it. I absolutely love it. Okay, this is feeling like we're going to have another commercial. Oh, come on. Damn it. Another commercial break. 2 during one match, and it's not even the main event. But we are close to the end of this show. There's only about 40 minutes left. We're undoubtedly going to see Jinder Mahal very soon. Very soon. I'm confident of that. And then in our main event, we have Bobby Lashley against Xavier Woods in a Hell in a Cell match. So we've had 1 Hell in a Cell on Fox on SmackDown. 2 Hell in a Cells actually on the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. And we will close it out with an extra Hell in a Cell on Raw. So we had 4 Hell in a Cell matches this year. 4. That's a lot. It says, Tom, when are you going to add wall squats and wall push-up to the channel points? I actually thought about this earlier today. Because, I need to get back in shape now. Who am I going to impress like this? I'm literally wearing a Christmas jumper. So I've been thinking about it. And I'm still down for that. Squats and push-ups seem nice and easy. Or just squats seem like the easiest choice in the world, to be honest. Just stand up, do 10 squats. You'll get me burning by the end of it. I'll just have to turn it off. Or Ed, you'll have to just redeem a few people. But it's one of those. I think that could be a fun one and genuinely would help me get in shape. And I think people would enjoy my pain. And if I don't feel pain, I'd have to increase the number. To make myself feel pain, because I'm trying to get fit. I've also got some free weights, some dumbbells. So we could do squats and curls. I wouldn't have it being particularly heavy. But Squats and curls. Could do that. Could do that. If you're in the chat right now and you'd be interested in using your channel points to make me do squats and curls, let me know. Because I think that's something that I'm very interested in doing. Push-ups, I'm not sure how that's going to work here. And wall push-ups are really not worth that much. Push-ups off the desk is a possibility, but I'd be here while doing it. It'd just be really, really creepy. Just really creepy. So I'd rather not. I could do it. I could do it here, I guess. Just sort of sideways about it. We could call it a workout stream. And that works for women. They get thousands of views from workout streams. If they're already fit. God damn it. That's the issue. They're already fit. Bailey says, I'm up for that. Yeah, it could be fun. I feel that could be a fun one. Also, of course, new channel point options are always a good thing. The more channel points get spent, the more advertised the channel is. So that's always a good thing. I don't want things to get boring. Definitely don't want things to get boring. That works, Megan. I don't think I could do that on subs because I don't get enough subs. But certainly that's a good idea. Bicep curls for every sub. That's certainly something we can do. We could visit those options. We could definitely visit those options. Because as I say, I have free weights and I would like to get fit again. I would like my body to look good. I would like to find a way to make that work. Because, I kind of have to find someone new now. So, well, I better try. And I also definitely can't afford a gym membership right now. So yeah, good idea. Thank you, Megan. Riddle is getting his wind now. I think the fact that Randy Orton's watching may be encouraging him. Matt Riddle living his dream of being watched by a snake. It's a very nice powerbomb. Drew's got to be feeling it. Riddle now is starting to lay it in, which is what Drew wants. You don't hold back with Drew McIntyre. You do damage. I still remember being in a PCW show where Drew McIntyre lost a match to Noam Dar. Noam Dar. Funny old world. Very attractive Michinoku driver. Looked for a moment there like we just had a bit of refilming. Matt Riddle had to pull his trunks up because the Michinoku driver brought a lot of arse out. It's a lot of arse out. We've seen a lot of arse today. More arse than I expected. That's good selling from Drew, that facial expression. I like that. Going for the triangle. The crowd reacted in a different way than the WWE were aiming for there. But actually that kind of works in their favor. It's supposed to be a surprise. I'm genuinely not sure who's going to win this. Riddle could do it. With Drew McIntyre selling his ears, it's not impossible that he takes a loss here. It says, maybe once a week, Tom does a workout stream where he does curls and squats while someone asks him questions from the chat. Then bits and subs make you do more. That's possible. That's possible. But there would have to be a limit. There would have to be a limit. I can't do 1,000 squats. And the thing is, I'm going to know when I've done enough, you know? I'm going to know when I've done enough. So we'll need a cutoff point. And that's the awkward part there. That's the awkward part. So if it's like Megan suggests, 10 bicep curls per sub, if I have my weight pretty strong and then I get 5 subs in quick succession, that's 50 curls. If the weight's quite high, I might struggle for that. I might have to stop at, say, 44. You can't give back bits and subs, whereas you can give back channel points. That's what I'm thinking when I talk about that. Matt Riddle lifts Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre seems to be going for the floating bro there briefly. Drew McIntyre, by the way, does a very good tombstone pile driver. He can't do it in WWE because Undertaker, no one's allowed to do a tombstone pile driver. But he still does a very good tombstone pile driver. If The Undertaker were truly retired, Drew McIntyre would be doing a tombstone pile driver. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, it's an idea, Ed. It's an idea. If people are interested in that, the issue is, will there be enough people in here to ask questions? Will people want to give bits and subs? And will people be able to give bits and subs? And is it a good thing to do to basically say, now's the point in which you have to do it? Like I could, for example, say, I will squat as long as we have a hype train. And I'll just keep squatting for as long as there is a hype train. But then I feel that's asking a lot of people. I feel that's just asking a lot. It's an idea, though, something I can certainly consider. I think a lot of people do dancing. I just can't dance. I don't think anyone wants to see me try. This is a really good match. Roll up. Roll up. That's a win. Drew McIntyre protected by the kick out just after 3. But that is a clean win for Matt Riddle, largely undoubtedly due to the injuries of Drew McIntyre. He's got his mug. He's got his scooter. And away he goes. I don't think we'll see Jinder Mahal there. J-Dub just says, big night tonight. Yeah, definitely. I definitely haven't seen any cold matches, I'll tell you that. Chelsea also surprised says, don't believe it. Randy, he's earned your respect with that one. Give him the fist bump. Fist him. Fist him. Fist him. It's actually turned it off because I said that. It's actually turned it off. Yes, Ed, we can definitely work on the logistics of it. It's a good plan. It's a good idea. We can talk about the specifics of it and then go from there. This is oddly romantic. Okay, bro is just like the truest bromance. Fist him. I need to turn off the voice commands because whenever I say that, it brings up the voice command option and I don't know whether I'm going to turn everything off. We have a half hour left. We're about to have a commercial break, which will take us down to 25 minutes. We'll then have the entrances for Bobby Lashley and Xavier Woods, another commercial break, which will take us down to about 15 minutes. We will have a commercial break during the match as well, which will take us down to about a 13-minute match. I'm still excited. To be clear, I'm not complaining. I'm still genuinely excited about the idea of this. I mean, it's Hell in a Cell, guys. It's Hell in a Cell. What's not to like? It's literally Hell in a Cell. Oh. This is part of what I mean, guys, when I say that quite a lot of work goes into streams off stream. For example, scripting everything ready for spoiler warning can be very time consuming. Very time consuming. Double checking everything, making sure it's all word for word exactly what people are looking for. And the like. Megan says, so I was curious, and there's only 6 years between RK Bro. Randy's 41 and Riddle's 35. That's a lot closer than I realized. Riddle still feels fresh and young, even though he's actually not. He's been on the indie circuit for a long time. Just a long time. So even though he feels like the new up-and-comer, you've got to remember, Randy Orton debuted when he was, 21, 22? He was a baby. He was a baby. And he was a legend killer in no time. I'm a legend killer. Oh, you're a legend killer. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. So we have a half hour left of Raw. Our Hell in a Cell apology to the USA Network is coming next. Oh, Ed. Ed, is this the fisting? Have you just gone for that? Firstly, thank you for making a clip. Clips are one of the easiest ways to make channels grow. The more clips we have, the easier we are to find. The more I can share on Twitter, of course, as well. So keep an eye out for that. And any clips made, I will try and use as much as possible. You're just gonna be You're just gonna get me shouting "fist him," aren't you? I know it. I know it. Let's check, shall we? Not that. Not that. I'm going to open up the stream because then that just drains everything. On my channel analytics, start there. Randy debuted when he was 19, literally a couple of weeks away from 20. Wow. He was a babby, wasn't he? Absolute babby. Right. Content, clips. I'm terrified. Terrified of what you created. Yep. Just a whole lot of fist him. Well, that'll go on Twitter immediately after the show. Riddle debuted in MMA in 2008, but didn't make his wrestling debut till 2015. Fair enough. Thank you, as always, for bringing the stats, Stat Queen. Oh, God, I forgot about Elias and Jackson Riker. Don't do it. Just stop. Just stop. I don't care. I have no interest in Elias and Jackson Riker. Elias has fallen way down the pecking order. Good point, Ed. That's a very good point. It could be very good for TikTok. TikTok might enjoy the fisting. They are piping in cheers for Jackson Riker. Mansoor likes watching people whip themselves. King. The thing is, if they pushed Riker as a heel, people would really get behind hating him. We have a strap match next week, and the WWE think that's going to be a draw, is it? It's been so good, and now here we are. Megan bringing some more stats for us, saying that Ricochet is the youngest man in Money in the Bank so far. He's 33 in October, Riddle's 35, and Morrison is 42 soon. WWE talent are getting older and older. Oh, hey, Ollie. You look great. Fair, Ed. Fair. Ollie with a little look at the camera there. Quite a clever little look that I enjoyed. I do like the dynamic between these. And Riker's just gone back to whipping himself. Great. I don't give a fuck about you. That's a good point, actually. Bailey saying Ricochet's the youngest at 33. Still crazy to think Rhea Ripley is champion at 24. She is. She is a WWE product, and they will push her to the goddamn ends of the earth. The ends of the earth. The WWE do believe that they have something incredible in Rhea Ripley, and I don't think they're wrong, personally. Right, okay. So next week we will have Orton versus Styles versus McIntyre competing for the last spot in the Money in the Bank. That's yeah, okay. Now I'm interested. Now I'm very interested. The last time we had this match was just before Drew McIntyre won the Royal Rumble. The Hell in a Cell is lowering. That promo actually took quite a lot of time. Quite a lot of time. Yeah, right you are. Megan saying, I said the last chance match would be stacked. Lo and behold, stacked. Absolutely correct. And as Ed says, wow, that'll be a decent match too. Yeah, I might tune in next week. I mean, that's the whole point, isn't it? To make sure you tune in next week. In that regard, it's doing the job. Kofi is coming down to the ring with Xavier Woods. Kofi, as we know, does have his match lined up for Money in the Bank against Bobby Lashley. Xavier Woods has competed in Hell in a Cell before in a tag team match alongside, I believe it was Big E, against the Usos. I don't believe Kofi Kingston has ever stepped foot inside Hell in a Cell. I'm sure Megan will correct me if I'm wrong. Pardon me. Our main event up next after another commercial break. I miss covering pay-per-views. Less commercials. Stay tuned, by the way, for more announcements as to more live venues. You're going to get a lot more of them. At the moment, I believe they've got 28, but there will be more added. There are no plans to go backwards, no plans to return to the Thunderdome. The Thunderdome is being retired for good in a couple of weeks. Thank you, Megan, who confirms Kofi has never been in Hell in a Cell. It's always good to have you here checking up on me and making sure that I'm sharing the right information. We all keep each other honest here. As part of that familial feel. We are family. That says, are we ever going to watch Breezango versus Usos from Backlash? Yes. This Friday, after spoiler warning, we'll watch Breezango versus Usos from Backlash. The reason I wasn't staying and watching it, the reason I was spending, the reason I was having breaks and not sticking around on stream as much is because my partner was here and I wanted to spend as much time with my partner as I could. That backfired. So on Friday, we'll do spoiler warning and we'll try and go straight through. So we'll watch some wrestling immediately afterwards. And then once SmackDown rolls around, we'll watch SmackDown. So yeah, we can watch that on Friday. That's great. Does that make you happy, Ed? I hope so. I want to watch the match. I've wanted to watch the match for ages. It's about bloody time. This won't be our last commercial break. There'll be at least one more. I think I'll record a Raw in 30 seconds for TikTok after this as well. I've fallen out of the pattern, the habit of that. I did. That's fair, Ed. I did. Ed says, I know I just pick at you about it because you wanted to watch it. I really do. It's such a fun match, at least that I remember. Such a fun match. So why not? Why not? Megan is keeping up with the stats. Looked at the ages of the women in Money in the Bank so far. Asuka is turning 40. Naomi is turning 34. Nikki is 32. And Alexa is turning 30. Yeah, she's about to be 30, isn't she? So yeah, older women being involved as well now than previously, where it was just a case of the women who wrestled would be much younger than they are now. But hey, longevity, that's the big difference here. People stick around, particularly in the women's division. Used to be a woman would be in the WWE for what, 6 years at most? Alexa Bliss has been around for a while now. And Naomi has been around for even longer. There's a lot more longevity now. And of course, people are being able to, with more knowledge about fitness and the like, people are competing at a higher level for longer as well. Also, to be fair, Alexa's been moderately protected after a number of concussions, so she hasn't been wrestling regularly anyway. Oh, Nikki Cross will be on Raw Talk. That could be interesting. We'll get to learn a little bit more about Nikki Cross. That could be fun. We're getting a look at the card at the moment for Money in the Bank. Our main event, Kofi Kingston challenging Bobby Lashley. The only other match confirmed at the moment, other than the Money in the Bank matches, is a rematch between Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair. A rematch between Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair. Okay. Asuka debuted in 2004, Naomi in 2009, Nikki was 2008, and Alexa was 2013. And to be fair, Alexa has been WWE her whole time. So she debuted at what, 22? After coming off gymnastics, and basically that was her wrestling experience. I'm a gymnast. Do you want to hire me? Yeah. All right, let's start training. So yeah, she came in quite early on. The intro for Bobby Lashley just gets better, doesn't it? Oh, they've added a faux 3D element. It fades pretty sharply. The yellow lightning's not really doing it for me. It never has, but I mean, it helps the character feel larger than life. I said it before and I'll say it again. He looks so good with that championship. It fits him perfectly. It is a work of art on him. I will never stop saying it. Yeah. Ed says, to be fair, Alexa is much like Trish, fitness model turned ultra talented wrestler. Yeah, much the same with Trish. It took a little while for her to get up to speed, but once she was up to speed, she became one of the most memorable characters that there are. And I think Alexa Bliss definitely will be one of the most memorable characters around for a long time. For a long time. No one's going to forget this because it's fucking crazy. It is absolutely insane. Megan says, as for the other two matches confirmed, just have the full set. Bobby Lashley will be 44 the week of Money in the Bank. Kofi will be 40 in August. Quite an old WWE Championship match, really. Rhea will be 25 in October, and Charlotte turned 35 a few weeks ago. A full 10-year gap. A full 10-year gap. I still think Charlotte has a number of years at the top left. I think the fact that Asuka is still wrestling at her age is a big encouragement to other women wrestlers. But it's one of those. The men can do it. Why wouldn't the women be able to do it? AJ Styles is older. Randy Orton's older. Bobby Lashley, you've mentioned there. The Undertaker wrestled forever. Xavier was getting his offense in early. We did see earlier that Drew McIntyre was still struggling with the injuries that he had picked up. And it seems like this, it was a great way to set up what we're seeing now. Bobby Lashley's already started to stake his claim as fighting from the top. Will this feel like Hell in a Cell? Because Rey Mysterio and Roman Reigns felt like a Hell in a Cell match. It was truncated, naturally, but the fact that Rey Mysterio got so physical and so many weapons so early made it feel like a much bigger deal. Made it feel like Hell in a Cell. Will it just be an in-ring wrestling match? Because if it is, I'm going to be disappointed. I like that MVP and Kofi Kingston are so close to each other. They're both on the far side near commentary, leaving a gap so commentary can see. It's exciting. Lashley is just throwing Xavier Woods around right now. Someone like Bobby Lashley should always have the level of dominance that you get from this. Okay, he's going to the outside. Xavier Woods did have a chair. Didn't quite work out. The pseudo headshot. Bobby Lashley punching the chair into Xavier Woods' face. That's how they do the headshots nowadays. Chairs are connecting with heads a lot more often recently. I'm both for and against it. I'm for the action, not there for the name redacted. Oh, look, the big guy ran into a turnbuckle post and suddenly the tide has turned. You never see that. You never see that. Kofi's gone seriously and scarily high-pitched. Like, it's a little bit terrifying. That was just a headshot. That was genuinely a headshot. I mean, now it's starting to feel like Hell in a Cell. Kofi's trying to strip off for us. It's a commercial break. And it stopped feeling like Hell in a Cell again. It stopped again. This is our final commercial break. There are 10 minutes left of Raw, and then we will be wrapping up, and we'll look at someone that we can send a raid to. Let's have a look at who's online now. Putting New Overs on, Wrestle Story are on. That's it at the moment. It is so infuriating. So infuriating when I scroll down to recommended channels and it gives me several options to watch Monday Night Raw illegally. And there's no question, they are making a ton of money right now. A ton of money. And I am potentially being made homeless. That's upsetting to me. There are 1,500 people watching an illegal stream of Raw right now. Imagine if they, imagine if some of them subscribed. I'm already upset myself just for reading it. Shouldn't have looked. Shouldn't have looked. But yeah, there'll be some options to raid a little bit later and send people onto for anyone who wants to watch a post-show elsewhere. Megan says, just look at R-Truth, still going at 49. Tamina's a champion at 43. They're the two oldest full-timers in WWE now. Yeah, they are. And Tamina, it's taken a long time to get her championships. He's a former 24/7 champion, which the WWE forgets. R-Truth also a former 24/7 champion. Quite a few times. Jermaine says, watching this match has got me thinking about the old Will Smith and DJ Jazzy Jeff rap video. I think I can beat Mike Tyson. Not one I've seen. Not one I've seen. Wasn't Jazzy Jeff the guy who kept getting thrown out of the house on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? I believe that was him. Not an expert. But think back. Nowadays we have rappers that the names that they have, and back then it was DJ Jazzy Jeff. Jazzy Jeff. Wouldn't cut it nowadays. Wouldn't cut it nowadays. DJ Jazzy Jeff. As we head into the last section of Monday Night Raw, I do have a quick thing to talk about, and that is how we are working currently on YouTube. Now, everyone who watches a video on YouTube gives me a view and helps me to grow. Every view helps me grow. But there are additional factors as well. One of the main things you can do to help is click like. That's the easiest way that you can help, is just to click that like button. That helps YouTube decide that this is good content worth advertising. You can also leave a comment. That tells YouTube that people engage with this content, so it is good content worth advertising. But it also works that out based on the length of video that people watch. There are times when family members have booted up one of these live shows that last for a very long time, muted the audio, and just left it in the background. That works towards my watch hours, which makes me more marketable for YouTube. If I pop over to YouTube now, this month, because I'm still growing, I've had 3,200 views. That is 3,200 views across my content for this month. If I then go across to my reach section, it tells me how many views I've had from impressions, where essentially my work has been advertised by YouTube. Of my 3,200 views, 2,300 of them has come from YouTube recommending my content. It recommends my content based on the amount of time people spend watching videos, how many likes those videos have, and the comments that those videos have. So, if you enjoy my YouTube content, please do remember to click like, watch us to as close to the end as you can, and comment if you have anything to say as well. Even if you can't think of a particular comment, just say hi. It's still a big help to me, and it helps me grow and reach new markets and helps people find me to subscribe. Thank you to everyone who already does all of this, or even just does some of this. You are doing me a tremendous service and being a massive, massive help. Thank you. Only 5 minutes left until the end of the show, and this has stopped feeling like Hell in a Cell. There's no weapons in use. There is a table in the ring, which I'm sure will come into play soon, but Bobby Lashley is standing tall and just beating up Xavier Woods at the moment. He's in full control, literally full control of the match. Xavier Woods is trying to get back into this one. Completely missed Bobby Lashley there. Supposed to be a chop block. Missed him. Drop kick. This is likely to be Xavier Woods' last flurry. Has a kendo stick to try and get there. Lashley and McIntyre are just constantly getting beaten up. They seem fine with it. I can't sit here and be annoyed. Xavier Woods trying the choke. Hadn't had a chance to really be as inventive as I know he can be. Like, I would expect someone of Xavier Woods' creativity to be doing more spots with weapons used in different ways. For example, the kendo sticks through the chain link was Xavier Woods' idea. But no, this is a bit of a paint by numbers match. Definitely doesn't need the sell. Definitely doesn't need the sell. It's also non-title. Lashley's just snatched the kendo stick away. Yeah, agreed, Megan. Lack of time both to plan and in the show itself is showing now. If they had a little bit longer and if they had time backstage to work out what they wanted to do, I'm sure they could add a lot to it. I think it's also a case of where are your weapons. Also, Bobby Lashley's bandage on his shoulder just came off. So we can see what's under there. If anything, looks like nothing. Tornado DDT. Xavier Woods is not winning this match. He's putting in a great showing, but he's not winning it. I do like the... Is that just ripped off skin? Eesh. I do like that both Lashley and McIntyre are seriously selling their injuries from the night before. Hell in a Cell probably did genuinely hurt them this much. Probably genuinely did. Oh, well, that's changed things. Lashley trying to use the table to his advantage. Xavier Woods so far doing the better. The referee just pocketed Lashley's bandage. I think he did. Pocketed something. Woods puts Lashley through the table. Gone for the cover. Not quite. The elbow completely missed, but Woods got there. And that's the important thing. Woods got there. Yeah, Corey Graves, I'm glad he pointed that out. Woods did overshot at least a little. Oh. Brutalization there. And this should be the beginning of the end for Xavier Woods. Okay, J-Dub, that's rare. That is rare. Well, that should say everything about what's about to happen. Woods taps out to the Hurt Lock. in about 3 seconds, which is fair. It is absolutely fair. And Lashley's arm is raised. It didn't feel much like Hell in a Cell, but it is what it is. J-Dub just chants for Brock. I don't think we're far away, mate. I don't think we're far away. The moment is coming. I do think we may see Brock at SummerSlam. I genuinely think that's likely. The cell is still down and the cell is still locked. Bobby Lashley has got hold of Xavier Woods. And just on the same side as Kofi, he's throwing him at the cage. MVP has got inside and he's locked them in again. So Kofi can't get in to help. Instead, Lashley will just continue to attack Xavier Woods. Xavier Woods might be out of the picture for a little while. Good finish, this. Good finish. I don't think it's going to be a year or two, mate. I don't think it's going to be a year or two, but it will probably write Xavier Woods off for a week or two. Essentially isolate Kofi, leading into his feud with Bobby Lashley. Makes sense to me. And that, as they say, is that. I'm going to wrap up here. It's 4 a.m. and I've not been sleeping particularly great recently, so I'm going to jump in my bed and just have a rest. Gotcha, J-Dub, gotcha. And just have a rest. We've had a bit of a dip on our Twitch viewers, so I'm not going to raid. There's not much point when we don't have that many viewers, so I pick my moments with it. But I do want to say a big thank you to everyone who has joined me today, everyone who has kept me company, and everyone who has kept me sane over the last 2 days as well. We have just wrapped up on WWE Raw. I've been Tom Colahue. A big thank you to everyone who gave me the time of day. Please do remember tomorrow, starting just before 8 p.m., we will be doing a dual stream. That means we'll be watching England at football, but we'll also be playing Football Manager. And my word, there is a lot that's happened in Football Manager to catch you guys up on. Ed says, night, Tom. Good night, Ed. Good night, everybody. I will see you all very, very soon.